to support owners, leaders and managers in business. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information or follow the link in the description below. And as this is 90 after 90, I want to thank our sponsors, Cosmetic Repair Solutions, an independent award-winning network of vehicle accident repair centres located in Chesterfield, Rotherham, Dinnington, Barnsley and Derby. Get an estimate at cosmeticrepair.co.uk.
Now then, Blades, follow and subscribe to Blades Ramble.
What is happening, Blades, and welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is 90 after 90. The second one in a row that we've actually done almost 24 hours after the fixture itself. That won't be a regular theme going forward. I'd committed to something with Mrs. Ramble yesterday. There was a family party that she booked me about 2 months ago, and when she says, you're always missing family dues for Ramble stuff and blah, blah, blah. And you say, what are you talking about? And then she reels off a big list of a load of things that you've missed. Juice Up Blades Ramble. You're like, oh, right, yeah, okay, love. Okay, that's good. We'll just do 90 after 90 day after. Well, I'm glad I did, to be honest, because I put a little video out yesterday. Thank you to everybody that's watched it. And thank you to everybody that's messaged me afterwards to see if I'm all right. I am absolutely fine. I'm absolutely fine. I was just mad, like rest of us. And I think it's probably come... it feels a little bit out of character for me to be angry and not that I don't get angry, because I certainly do. And I know people get worried about my moods because I do go up and down and stuff. So thank you to everybody that reached out. I really do appreciate it. But that's just genuinely how I feel when we perform like that. And normally you see me on 90 after 90 as soon as we can come back to it. But usually, certainly for a home game, I've had a chance to calm down a little bit on the way home. Me and my dad talk through the game and stuff like that. And it's sort of, you know, and I speak to lads and lasses in chats as well, particularly Platinum chat. We go back and forth, we get each other's opinion. And by the time I come to sit down, like a couple of hours after the dust settled, I'm usually all right. But this last week, I mean, Big Tony's on the line. He's ready to come on and have a chat with us tonight, which for those Ramble on the Roads fans amongst us will be very excited. But Tony does the vast majority of our Ramble on the Roads now. Sorry, Jamie Dumpling, that's the way things are. But and it was first time he's walked out of a game midweek against Blackburn at half-time. And he left, and he's messaging me afterwards saying, mate, I'm so sorry. I know I'm doing Ramble on Road, and I can't, I just can't sit through that anymore. I said, mate, that is reality. That is how fans feel when our players put in, well, don't put in a performance, put in that abomination of what was the first half at Blackburn. And I tell you something, on Saturday, it weren't much better. So that's real, and that's all my post-match was yesterday. It was a real reflection on how I feel, and how I think a lot of, certainly Blades fans that we talk to feel. It's just so disappointing, and everybody catches a few strays with it. Wilder feels it as well, you can tell. I think he's fed up with players and squad. That's just my opinion. I know people think that because we've got a good relationship with the club, you know, maybe I should be watching what I say. Well, the reason that this channel exists is because of everybody watching. It's not because the fact that I've started to, you know, speak to the club a little bit more and have more involvement with the club. That's a result of what we are. What we are is a fan channel. We are here to voice the views of the Sheffield United fan base, and I am one of those, and I get caught up in it as well sometimes, and I don't have to project positivity all the time. I will always try, because that's my nature anyway. It's not because I want to be in with the club. I'm fortunate enough that I know a lot of good people at the club now, but that doesn't change how I react when the players put in a half-assed performance. And apologies for the language. And I know, I just don't like using any bad language, but it's just like they can't. It really frustrates me and it upsets me. It upsets a lot of Blades fans, and we've talked about it before. For people that are just casual viewers and supporters, and even those that aren't as involved, or your partner might be really into it and you don't really understand. Some people don't get it, and that's absolutely fine too. Like my wife did not understand why I was so upset when Chris Wilder first left the club, and when he left the club in his first iteration as manager. I was really not low. I don't mean to make it too dramatic, but it certainly affected me. He brought me through a really tough time in my life without knowing it, and it brought our club on such a journey to get to such heights that had pulled me through some really difficult times. And if you're not a football fan, you can't always understand that. But some of us, we've got people in our chat that are struggling financially, and not only do they support the Blades Ramble by being Platinum Ramblers, which is absolutely incredible, and I thank you again for that, but they are doing what they can to scrimp everything together and get a season ticket for next year. And is there any incentive being given by them players in a red and white shirt for those fans that are on the fence financially more than anything else to do it? Well, 90% of us will do it anyway, because we've got this attachment to the club that can't be broken, and yet some people will have to make that difficult decision, and sometimes it's dictated by finances, whether we're 16th, 17th, 18th, or whether we're first or second. Sometimes that things are out of our hands. There's a lot of people watching this that would love to go to games week in, week out, but live far away or have ill health or something like that. But for those that are able to buy season tickets, or struggling to buy season tickets and still going to buy them anyway, that's what it's about. That's why we get so frustrated when it seems it were a bit of a phoned in performance for me, I thought. And I'm my head's all over the place in terms of why. And it could be the fact that there is nothing to play for this season. It could be the fact that, you know, the old on the beach scenario. I know Wilder hates that and he's pushed back against it. But there is always that, particularly last few games. I don't think any of them were busting a gut yesterday. Certainly not until the last 10-15 when it looked like we pulled a second goal back through Patrick Bamford, a lovely worked goal. And then we started to pick up again for me. And why, with 10-15 minutes to go, is that it wasn't even that, I think. Looking at Ramble Road with Tony, I think there were about 8 minutes of normal time left. So why then? Why do we only pick up then? Why are we giving Preston a 2-goal lead at half-time? Why are we giving Blackburn a 3-goal lead? What is that about? Sheffield United, historically, have never been the best team. We've never been favourites for the league that we're in. We've never, unless it were like down in League One in the first couple of years, which again we failed to win until Chris Wilder came back when we weren't one of the favourites for the league. But we've never been favourites to win anything, titles, cups, anything. But we've always been difficult to beat, always, except for the odd season where we've been significantly outclassed. And I'm thinking the 2 Premier League relegations recently, which we've just been not at the races, finishing bottom. But in terms of overall attitude, you look. Tell me how. Do you think Jebbo gets in the middle of John Egan and Jack O'Connell as easily as he got past McGuinness and Tanganga yesterday? Not a chance. And there is always an element of looking back through rose-tinted glasses, but there is no Jack O'Connell and John Egan when John Egan was, this is John Egan 6-7 years ago as well, when he was in his prime. He were a great player for us. I know he's and he's still playing well for Hull, by the way, who were just on the cusp of the playoffs. But Johnny, like they've all done, obviously that squad cycles out, but when those two were together, and Basham obviously other side of them, there's absolutely zero chance that they... even Bash, to be fair, who was probably the most unorthodox... Well, he certainly was the most unorthodox of the three. There's no way he gives up on any of that. And I just think, where were the effort and commitment? I think McGuinness is just, and I said this in my post-match, but McGuinness is just naturally slow. And that is a problem. That is a problem, particularly if you're playing a higher line. And that is a huge mark against him, unfortunately. I think he's very good in the air, which you'd expect for a man of his presence and size. But I think other than that, you have to pack things around him to make it work. And I thought, having seen a couple of decent performances of him and Tanganga together, we might have cracked it. Tanganga, look, this is nothing against him as a person at all. None of these things are. And I have to keep stressing that because it does sound like we're going in on people. And I hate targeting our own players. But this man's been put under the spotlight because he's been given the captain's armband. I don't think he's been dropped once this season. He's coming for big money. And so criticism is going to come his way if he doesn't perform week in, week out. He's not a captain for me. He does not lead the way that you would expect a captain to operate. He doesn't take responsibility. I'd say the problem at the moment with our club, the culture is all wrong. We have got, and I hate saying this, we've got a loser's mindset. We've not got a winner's mindset anyway, either way. We have not got a mentality of which we think, I don't mind that we've gone one behind, could have been avoided, but we're going to still take this by its scruff of the neck and win this game. Because we don't do that. We don't win games when we go behind. Very, very rarely. It might have happened once or twice this season, maybe. But we have no backbone. We've no resilience. And it's a loser's mentality. We don't just need an overhaul of players in the summer. We need a complete reset of the culture at the football club. And that will mean a significant amount of players shipped out. I don't see many players with the right mentality at the moment. Doesn't mean they can't change that. Again, this is just outside perception, looking at how they carry themselves on the pitch. And it doesn't mean they're not giving the effort. It's just sometimes the opinion that I think Harrison Burrows, for example, doesn't look happy. And it might just be unhappy with the season, how it's gone. Might be unhappy with the team. Might be unhappy with his personal performances. But I just don't get the, right, I'm going to take charge of this. I'm going to make sure my performance is as best as it possibly can be. We talked about it being potentially a confidence issue previously. I think it's deeper rooted than that. I think it's deeper rooted with some of these players. And it's a worry for me. I think there's an awful lot to do. Tomorrow on 3MB, we're going to tackle just how much is there to do in this squad, because the more we see from that, and look, we might be dramatising it and thinking too much into it, but Blackburn Rovers 21st in league when they came to us. Don't know where they are now. 21st in league. No, they're not, because I can see table here. West Brom are 21st. Oxford got relegated, didn't they, yesterday? Blackburn 21st when they came to us, and scoring 3 before half time. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Preston North End won 2 games in 15. 2-0 up before half time. Rubbish. We are such a soft touch. We used to be so difficult to beat, and we're a soft touch. And it's embarrassing, but it's disappointing more than anything else. It feels like they don't care. And I'm sure they do. I don't mean to go in on them personally about it. But show me you care. Show me you care. Because I don't see it. You know, it really does rile a lot of blades. I'm going to get into some comments and some calls about it, but look, and then there's the obvious. Again, we talked about the elephant in the room with Chris Wilder yesterday. There is no doubt about it in my mind that Chris Wilder certainly will be the manager going into next season, but should be the manager going in next season. I wouldn't want anyone else to try and get us back into reasonable shape than Chris Wilder. Now, you can have a conversation about whether we should change it and who comes in next and all this sort of thing. I don't know why you would gamble again after we saw what happened with the gamble last time. There is no guarantee that anybody does, and that's the same any decision you make with managers. I understand that, but there's no guarantee that you're not going. Thing is, we have to, and again, this is a criticism maybe of Wilder, but we have to reset our expectations now for being a non-parachute side. And I'll talk about this again. In fact, I saw something. Let me see if I can find it again. From Darren Smith, friend of the channel. Soon to be on View from the Mountain, I believe, from what Paul and Rich have been telling me. So we'll keep your eyes peeled, and Darren will be coming back on the channel, which will be great. Just a tweet that stood out to me, which I think was really powerful. I hear fans saying that Chris needs to be top 6 or so next season to keep his job. I don't think we realise just how difficult it is to recover from losing the parachute payments. In the last 15 years, 17 clubs have failed to get back up before losing parachutes. Of those, only 4 have got back post-parachutes. That was Norwich, who got relegated 15-16 and promoted 18-19. So first season without parachute payments. Fulham, relegated 13-14 and got up 17-18, first season post-parachute payments, and Sunderland and Wolves both via League One. Those teams yet to get back after losing their parachute payments: Watford, West Brom, Huddersfield, Cardiff, Swansea, Stoke, Borough, Hull, QPR, Blackburn, Birmingham and Blackpool. West Brom have stayed competitive, he says, until this season, but by breaching financial rules. And Borough have been there or thereabouts. The rest have rarely been top half, and some have even dropped into League One. It's a tough haul coming back from lost parachute payments. Well said by our friend Darren Smith, who always talks a lot of sense. And I'm pleased to be getting him back on hopefully soon. But that is the challenge in front of us. And this is the criticism of Chris Wilder. Is he setting our expectations too high? By trying to be so bullish in terms of we won't be anything like this next season. I agree with him, by the way. I don't think... Last time he said that, we finished on 92 points. But I agree with him. I don't think we'll be anything like the shower that we've seen this year. And that's what it's been. It's been embarrassing. I think he'll put pride back into the shirt. I think he'll bring the right players in. I think the thing we'll struggle with the most is getting some players out. But I think he'll bring the right players in, and I think we'll be a lot more competitive next year. But I do think he needs to pull back a little bit on we're going to go for it next year. And he hasn't really done this, but I think he needs to temper our expectations, because some of the fans, like Darren was saying, top 6 expectations, it's tough. I'm not saying it's I think we should be aiming for top 6. Certainly top 8 now that it's an 8 team. It goes down to 8 teams in playoffs. But I think we have to be aware that this is going to be really tough. You look at Wolves and Burnley coming down already, going to be really strong. Millwall, Ipswich, Southampton, Borough, at least 2 of those are going to be in the league with us next year. It's not going to be easy by any means. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. But we have got loads already lined up. In fact, I've got 4 videos lined up to do that's going to go to Platinum Ramblers and potentially Ramblers as well first, and then we're going to release them on main channel. But I don't know when to do it, because I'll get them out as soon as I can to the Ramblers, but there's no real time to put them in, and the things will become less current. But we've got rumours about Hamza, Suter, Tolaj potentially coming in from Alan Nixon today, which I don't think will happen, but you know, there's a potential for that to happen. What else have we got? Lewis Dobbin. We've got Billy Sharp being mentioned in the presser about coming back in a coaching role. We've got the fact that it's been widely talked about now, like we've talked about for months, that Gus and Siddy are seen as United's most saleable assets this summer. And does that actually help or hinder us? I think there's a conversation to be had about that. So there's potentially 6 videos coming out already about the summer, and it's about where we fit them in. Do we wait till next week and get them in terms of after the Derby stuff? well, they might be dated by then. There might already be other stuff going on, but Platinum Ramblers and Ramblers will get those first, as always, as part of their perks. But in terms of when you'll see them on the main channel, I'll try and fit them in as and when I can. You don't want to just, and I'm learning this from a few of my mates who are already doing a lot better than me in the space, but you don't just want to chuck everything out and it'll get lost in the shuffle, really. So, yeah, Sheffield United. What are you guys feeling about it? Because again, this is all I ask is that you're respectful in the comments to each other and to the people that you're talking about. I'm already sort of walking a fine line when I'm criticising players, because you don't want to, be unnecessarily critical of players, but when they make you feel the way that they have been doing, the lack of effort or the perceived lack of effort is unacceptable at this club. Unacceptable. And I'm not saying any club takes it, but it's not at our club. We can only speak for us, can't we? And if you think somebody is, working at 80% of their capacity, no, I don't care how much you cost. We'll take a deal on you. Off you go. You're not a Sheffield United player if that's the case. Change or move on, because we cannot carry anybody now. We'll work with a much smaller squad if we can get the numbers out that we need. Chong, for example. Chong's another one, and apologies, I keep going on a rant, but this is how I am with things at the minute. Not good enough. And look, Tahith Chong, when he came through at Man United, was touted to be a really good player. Came through with like Hannibal and all these players, didn't he? Then got a really sort of quirky move to Birmingham, and I thought he looked really good. I remember Birmingham coming to Bramall Lane, and I think Rich said this in a little bit earlier when I was speaking to him about it. Looked really good. Looked really good at Birmingham. And since then, he went to Luton and all over the place. But I don't think I think he flatters to deceive. I'm not saying there's not talent in there somewhere. And there is a little bit of pace, which is something we definitely haven't got as a side. But there's no decision making. There's no chemistry. I don't see it. It's not of the level that we are hoping to become. Leicester fans laughed when we took Chong. I'm sure they laughed when we took McGuinness, but I think McGuinness, you can see attributes to McGuinness's game that benefit us. But Chong, I'm just not sold on him at all. And I've got to be honest about these things. I've got to be honest. I think there's other things that you can look at on a flip side when you look at the season as a whole, and there's some real positives to come out of it. I think City Peck's had another very good season. I think he's been up and down at times, but I think he's certainly grown as a player. I think Femi Siriki, Andre Brooks have really come on. But I also think players like Gus Hamer and Harrison Burrows and Michael Cooper, even though we know the situation now, in terms of what we expected to see from them, they've been disappointing. So, Japhet Tanganga, disappointing. Joe Rothwell, when he's come in, apart from odd game or two, not had enough time, I understand that, but disappointing. Calvin Phillips, very limited game time, but disappointing from what you've seen. Ty Campbell, Tom Cannon, but then you flip that with a Patrick Bamford and a Jairo Riedeveld. So it's been a real mixed bag, but overall, very disappointing. And look, we've one more game to go. The season's not over yet, but when that final whistle goes on Saturday, about 2:30, whenever it's going to be, that's when it starts. That's when it starts. And things change for this club. And we are a different beast because everything resets. And that is the opportunity we have to change everything. Doesn't mean we will. That's the opportunity. And the situation is, who do you want leading you through that possibility for change? My shout is Chris Wilder. A lot of blades I know would say the same. Some blades I know would say different. But I think it's a huge ask. And I don't think it's justified, in all honesty. I think he'll be disappointed this season with the lack of overall impact that he's been able to have. And I'm open to a respectful discussion about who comes in instead or why we should change it. If we're going to have a why we should change it chat, I always think we should have who replaces him then. And I don't want Thomas Frank or Liam Rossini discussed because it's not going to happen. I want an honest shout. I mentioned the only sort of realistic shouts I can imagine are people like Michael Scabala. But I don't think they've... And I said that as a devil's advocate shout, and then I've seen a couple of people have mentioned him since. But there's not many others that you would say pique your interest. Certainly not... They wouldn't pique my interest over Wilder anyway. But I think when you need... It's going to be Wilder next season. So what I'd like to do is come to some sort of understanding of that. You can agree with him staying or not, but an acceptance of him staying and backing him is the way forward for me. It doesn't mean you won't be, oh God, I'm not, I've just got to accept it. I've got to lump it. That's fine because we're not all going to agree on things. But ultimately, as Blades, we have to accept whether you like it, and I like it, but whether you like it or not, it's going to be him. So let's get behind him. A little bit like when Chong's name didn't line up on yesterday, and you're not overly enthralled with it. I'm certainly not. But when he's on the field, you're cheering him and you're supporting him and you want him to do well. Of course you do. He's got our shirt on, and you back the badge, don't you? You back the badge every single time. And if the board ever make a decision again to sack Wilder, then we're not Chris Wilder FC either. So we will support whoever comes, like we supported Ruben Sayers. But again, on the flip side of it, don't expect us to be quiet about it if it all goes wrong, because we've also the right to speak on how we feel if we think it's been a poor decision, which we did with Ruben Sayers. It's documented. Let's go back and, it's there saying we've got to support him. We've got to support. We don't agree with it, but we'll support him because he's arm. And as it went on, it were appalling, and we said that. Anyway, let's get some comments. I will get some. In fact, I'm gonna, because I've been rabbiting on for so long. Oh my word, with a lot of people waiting. Right, I think I put him as the first caller because I'm conscious of where he is. I have told him, by the way, that he can't expect to queue jump when he returns to the country, but because he's overseas, then I have to give him a little bit. Cause it's probably about 3 o'clock in the morning where he is, whatever's happening. He can tell me anyway. It's the one and only. It's Dingo Dumpling. How's it going, pal?
Yeah, I'm very well. It's not Dingo anymore. I've left the country now, but I'm very well. How are you?
I'll decide whether it's Dingo or not. Thank you very much. Which country are you in?
I'm in Indonesia now. We're going to Asia.
Oh, no. We?
Yeah, we.
You and...
I'll let the audience decide that one.
I'm only joking, pal. So, thank you for being our first caller tonight. As I said, we've got loads of people on. I'm going to prioritise the callers as I think is right. People taking the time to... I'll get through as many comments as I can, but we're going to go through the callers because they've been patiently waiting, and I've been rabbiting on for nearly half an hour now, Jamie, because I'm annoyed at what I saw yesterday. Again, what did you manage to catch any of the game, or have you managed to see the extended highlights? What were your movements yesterday, and what are your thoughts, pal?
So I managed to catch the extended highlights, and when I managed to hear what Gaz and Dave Mwood said about it, it sounded like pretty much Calvin Copy's past few games. Awful first half, like absolutely dire quality from the players.
Yeah.
And then second half, we improved. No idea why. We make a couple of changes that those players who weren't playing and came on the second half had played in previous games and got subbed off. So no idea what's happening there. Maybe it's just a half-time team talk seems to do the trick for some reason. But yeah, same story, different game. It's just boring at this point how just poor we are consistently. We're consistently poor. That's the best way of putting it. And there's no real answer to why it's like this.
He said in his presser, I don't know whether you caught it, that we are consistently inconsistent, which is because we'd won 2 games and then we have that terrible performance against Blackburn, and then again against Preston. So he says the only thing that we've got is being consistently inconsistent. But with the half-time stuff, Jay, it annoys me more because it's a different game after half-time. They sit back then, particularly Blackburn, with a 3-0, but Preston have no need to come out onto us at that stage. So they just have to be disciplined, keep the shape, let us do they can allow us to keep the ball, and if we can break them down, then fair enough. So it becomes a different tactical game other than if it were 0-0. So it's all right us having perceived better second halves, but that's because they've already done their business in the first. So Blackburn, for example, could just sit back and allow us to do it. It went to 3-1, and that were about it. We didn't really, yes, there were chances in the game, but if we'd have put them under way too much pressure, they could have easily just turned it on again and played a different way. So it's so frustrating, mate. What are your thoughts now? Obviously, we're all fed up with season. One more game to go against Derby. What are your thoughts in terms of the summer? What people are calling, some people, I think it's a vocal minority, if I'm honest. People are questioning Chris Wilder, but also, how many players do we need to overall? Yeah, what are we talking?
Well, first, thank God it's almost over. It's been probably one of the worst seasons I can remember in a long time, especially the fact I haven't probably not been supporting them as long as some other people like yourself.
We're a similar age, though, aren't we, Jamie? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years off.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to this type of squad, it's just who are you going to try and get to buy the players in. I think someone like Chong, for example, I think the World Cup could put him potentially in the shop window, maybe somewhere abroad potentially, or somewhere that's trying to coming up from League One, maybe someone like Lincoln City could just go, be a decent pick.
Well, for Chong, did you say?
Yeah, for Chong, because he's at the World Cup, and he's got that Man United pedigree. Them players that go through these big academies, even if they're.
If we can get anyone interested in Chong, I'll be absolutely amazed. And I don't mean that I just think, not that he can never get another move, but I think the money that he's on, I think we'll struggle to shift him. He's allegedly on around 25 grand a week, so certainly that's not something that Lincoln are going to be looking to pay. There's an argument that we could loan him to somebody like a Lincoln, but what incentive have we got to do that, really, other than him getting a bit of form back when we're trying to pad out? We're trying to sort of, way up. There's a big wasp in here. I shouldn't have left this door open. I'm gonna get it. You talk to me about what you're thinking, pal. With Chong. Well,
you can only hope. Because if you think that, no, it's gonna happen. You're having fun there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna get it.
You're not gonna have a fun summer. So you can only hope like players like that go out. Nothing personal. It's just they're not very good at the end of the day. But I think Wilder, it's more than fair. He's come under criticism. It's been disappointing. He said himself it's not been as good as he hoped it would be when he first came in. But you got to remember, when he came in, we were rock bottom. We were below them lot. That's how bad it was. The worst ever side.
Yeah, that's true.
We were below them. And it took a good few games, even after he came in, for them to come in. We didn't even draw. We lost every single game. I was at Ipswich when it was 5-0. That was a disaster. That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a team ever. I saw York City in pre-season play better against us because they scored 2, at least. They at least put up somewhat of a fight. And they're a National League side. And yes, they've done very well this season. I don't know if you've seen.
They've done great, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Rochdale game. That was mental. It was horrific. You just try and not have dementia and just remember where we were and just think, give him the summer. He's good with no money, and just try and believe. Because again, there's now 2 extra places for playoffs.
I am going to have to try, and because everybody knows where I stand on it, but I think I've got a duty to play devil's advocate a little bit on some of this in terms of Chris Wilder, because I know a lot of the Ramblers are pro Chris Wilder, but there are the odd one or two that aren't. But I think the majority.
David Webster.
No, he's not a Rambler, though, is he? I'm talking about people that are in our chat and that can call in and have a chat with me about it. I think I'm going to have to play devil's a little bit and sort of say, when does Wilder come under scrutiny? I'm going to let you go in a minute, Jay, because I appreciate with loads of people waiting, but when does he come under scrutiny then? If you think he's definitely the man, as I do, obviously, but if he's definitely the man, when would you start to say he's under a bit more pressure? Would you say does he get 10 games? Do we have to start quickly in terms of changes in the summer? What's the situation for you? What would you give him?
I mean, you would have said with someone like Sellers when he came in, give him till November, but obviously that was a horrific start, so you got him out straight away. So again, you sort of have to play by ear. How well the summer transfer window goes for like the type of players we're getting. Because if we get like a couple of players and don't get much out, then you're not going to have very high expectations. So it's not going to be a very great window, and then you're possibly looking to give him the winter transfer window as well. But if it goes well, which you would have thought so, with which it looks like there's going to be some quality frees out there, and trying to ship some of these out, there's going to be a lot of loans going, a lot of players potentially even on frees from our club, so that's going to alleviate a lot on the wages. And Adam Davis, you're all right.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm just getting rid of last dregs at cough. Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully we can get rid of a lot of wages, and with the parachute payments going, it can sort of alleviate itself. And then with the freeze potentially coming in, just sort of get us to a point where we get the right characters in and we sort of go again. I mean, Harasuta, who would have thought him coming in first game and pull off a game like that? And if it looks like he's going to go to the World Cup now, get even more match fitness in, that is a massive boost to the whole squad. So again, that can even, a player like that alone can bump you up one or two places, which will be key come end of next season.
Thank you, Jamie Dumpling. What time is it where you are then?
1:37. So it's not too bad.
AM?
Yeah.
Oh, mate. It's incredible. It's incredible. Can we say hello to Mrs. Dumpling as well while we're there?
I got the head shake of no.
Okay. Right. Before end of season, maybe? Does she not end of season is this weekend?
Before the end of the season, aka May. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see her on the Preston 90 after 90 then, since that's the Derby one. Sorry, that's end of season, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll see.
So this weekend, this coming weekend. Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, mate, and lovely to meet you, Mrs. Dumpling. Speak to you soon, pal. Get to bed. All right.
See you in a bit.
Don't do what I won't do. See you later. Russ, how's it going, my mate? Let me just unmute you.
All right, mate.
How are you? You're doing well.
Really nice weekend. It's been really good, thank you.
Yeah, it has for you, hasn't it? Because you didn't go yesterday.
Yeah, I wasn't going to phone in, as you know, because I thought I've nothing to talk about, so I didn't go to match, and I didn't watch it. I've been celebrating the. I've got a big birthday coming up, so we started celebrating early.
Nice.
So yesterday was a gig
30th,
and then a party after.
30th on the
horizon.
right.
Looking for a score till about 6 o'clock. Tea time.
Very nice. Oh, so are you going to CK class, or did you go last night to CK?
Well, yesterday. The metropolis known as Denby Dale, mate.
Denby Dale, nice.
Denby Dale. It was in Upper Denby, yeah, in a cowshed.
Nice,
K-class.
mate. Nice. Well, I'd rather talk to you about that, to be honest. But I suppose
Absolutely,
we are a program.
Yeah, no problem at all.
We are a show about
what you phoning me for?
I know. It's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them. So, United yesterday, mate. I know you haven't seen the game. It's another disappointing one, similar to the Blackburn debacle, if you like.
I won't be surprised to hear all that. Because they're not shown enough, have they, for it to have been any different yesterday, really?
No, they haven't. And
so I think that's why I had that sort of disinterest in it yesterday. I wasn't stuck to my phone and what have you all afternoon.
Yeah, I think a lot of blades have checked out already, aren't they? Which shows. Yeah. And look, there weren't loads there yesterday, I wouldn't have said, and certainly there weren't a lot that stayed to clap them off, which is a shame. And you think when it's potentially play like Gus Amer's last season with us potentially, which we all think it will be, it's just a real low at the moment for us. And
it's a shame because it's the failure has been a collective failure. But there are individuals that, you know, have had that right mentality. We've just not had enough of them. You know, even in a perfect 11, it's rare that you will get 11 players that have got that sort of tenacity and that will to go till the end and to run for every ball. But you need enough of them in your team to carry the ones that don't have quite that, because you'll drag them along with you. But we just haven't had enough of them. Not enough culture carriers, as Chris likes to say, in the team.
Hardly any, I'd say, Russ. I mean, could you name a culture carrier in that? I think Sidney Peck is in the mould of a player that he wants to set the tone.
I would suggest it's the culture carriers have been the youngsters.
Yeah.
You know, and they've done the best they can do without having senior support, reliable senior support around them. They've actually excelled, really, and I include Blaster in that, even though he's been out such a long time. But, you know, he's come back, Sidney and Brooksy and so on and so forth. And then there's the other lads who are too fragile and they'll never be good enough mentally. They may be technically, but not mentally for what we require. And they're the ones that's going to have to go.
He's talked a lot about the recruitment in the summer will be largely based on like more savvy operators, more championship experience, which is interesting because I think a lot of our saleable assets, other than Gus, our saleable assets will be our youth that you're talking about. So that potentially says to me that some of them will be here next season to build around. I don't think it'll be City, but you know, does that mean Andre Brooks is going to be here next season, or Femi Siriki's half a chance of being here next season? And it's
very possible, and I think a large factor in this, Jim, which we tend to sort of look at separately, is that the financial landscape of football next year, and then the year after, because obviously we're on 115% next year, and then
squad cost ratio, isn't it? That you're talking about.
The impact this is going to have on the loan market. All the big clubs, your Chelseas and what have you, are going to struggle to offload their kids to us if they're not prepared to carry their wages, because we don't want to carry their wages, because we don't want that PSR burden. So this sort of model is going to go all the way through, and it's going to impact on us about how and where we want to place our kids. We're going to have to probably foot 100% of the wages, because they're going to be teams are going to say, "I'm sorry, but no." We can't afford it, because we're lumbered with players that are on longer contracts, like your Chongs, etc. So we're going to have to absorb that over the next 2-3 seasons with their contracts. And if we want to put them out on the market, well, where's the market?
Yeah.
What sort of club's going to come in for? Well, let's say Chong, and give us anything like we might want to recoup. Is there anybody who's going to offer his wages for him? You know, all these little nuances that we can usually predict, but next year's landscape is just going to throw it in the air, I think.
Yeah, we keep talking about, and Chong's a good example because we've seen a lot of him, but another one we don't talk about much is because he's not been seen and we forget, I think, is Matos. Matos is allegedly on. Yeah.
I mean,
he's allegedly on 18 grand a week.
There's an asset value in him that's just disappeared as soon as he walked through the flipping door. So really,
well, is that a
what
previous
do? You just keep hiking him out to lower Championship or League One till the end of his contract, and try and recoup what you can. And that's a PSR burden. So what do? You can't. Is there going to be a new model where clubs start paying players off, paying the contracts off, and saying, "I'm sorry, you know, can we do a deal with you? You know, take half of your compo that you would normally get, but go and find a new club." There could be quite a lot of that going on in football. Very, very different. It's going to be.
It's so strict. It's a weird time that we're going into, and not just the fact that our club's changing and we have to adapt to having no parachutes, but like this squad cost ratio that you're talking about, where players like Alex Matos on 18 grand a week take up a huge chunk of your allowance.
Absolutely.
For somebody that's not being used.
On a lesser, kids, isn't it? That's for youngsters.
On a lesser scale, Sam Curtis is said to be on 10 grand a week. Who's
I reckon so, yeah, because he was a big,
big signing for us,
a big deal, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was
cool for us apparently when we got him.
Known to be a big prospect over in Ireland, and he's finally thankfully starting to find his feet over in. And it's not these players. It's not these players' fault either, and none of us are saying that you would take whatever wage is offered to you. It's been poor business by Sheffield United more than anything else. But now, what do we do with these players? You know, is Sam Curtis going to accept a contract next time around for $3 grand a week, or 4 or 5 grand a week, that we would offer a regular, promising youngster, perhaps that hadn't really impacted the first team? Yeah. Well, he's on 10 grand a week. He's probably not going to get it matched anywhere else, but we have to do these sensible deals now for the club that gets our house back in order, because we've over committed on a lot of players that I don't think are good enough, to be honest. Certainly not for the wages that they're commanding.
No, very true. Very true. It's the landscape's going to be massively different. It's going to change football. Definitely this. Yeah, probably one of the biggest watershed moments since Bosman and those sort of things.
Yeah, I agree.
It's quite nice to come on and chat about football. Yeah, and not chat about the shambles that I've just witnessed.
I know, mate. Well, yeah, agreed. And it's going to dominate this summer, really, isn't it? This sort of chat as well. So it's important that we get our heads around it early, I think. So thank you for joining us, mate. Much appreciated as always.
You're welcome.
Let me know when the birthday's coming up, and we'll make sure we get involved. Oh, wishing you happy birthdays. All right, my mate. Have a good
13th of May, mate.
Nice
there
one.
You go.
Okay. Speak to you soon, pal. Yes, I will. 30 again.
Yeah,
all right, mate.
See you last year, 13th of May.
Funny that.
Yeah.
All right, pal. See you soon.
See you later, bud. Take it easy.
Mate. Yeah, you too. Take up the blades. Gazamataz, the man in black. How's it going? Look at this kitted out. What a boy.
Got to be done on it.
Yes, mate.
Well, I couldn't come in referee's kit after I just come in.
How have you got on today, mate? You've been reffing, haven't you, today? Tell us a little bit about your day so far.
Yeah, I was exhausted. So Fratton Park, Pompey Forest today. I was exhausted after the first half. 5 offsides and 6 non-offside, non-flags. And I'm like, the other guy goes to me, he goes, flipping heck, is your arm all right?
You're a very fit man, as you know. You keep putting in our little fitness side group about your training and stuff like that. It's the first time in ages I've seen you look tired. So yeah. I know you're a bit of a machine, mate, but it gets to the best of us, doesn't it? I'm with you. I'm a machine myself, obviously, as you know. So what were your thoughts about yesterday, then, pal? Overall, how are you feeling?
It's just got to the stage now where I think the players just want the season over with. And one criticism I might put up Wilder, actually, and by the way, I'll lay it on the line now, bottom line up front is, he's the man to take us forward.
Correct.
I've got no shower of that. I'm just...
I think we're back. Oh, my word. We've done it. We're back. This is unbelievable. Right, do you know what? In fact, not only am I back, everybody that's been waiting is still there. We've still got 140 people here. That is ridiculous. I want to say thank you so much to everybody that stuck around there for that. Thank you particularly to Gaz, who has stayed on rambling for ages, to you all. Probably done a better job than I could. I couldn't even get on to see what were happening. There's been a huge... you can probably still hear alarms in area because they're still going off. Huge power cut in the entire street. Whatever's happened. Oh, my word. It goes from bad to worse. Am I on hot off the presser? I'm on hot off the presser. What's all this about? This is... Oh, no. What have I done? Am I back? Am I still here? I'm still here, of course I'm still here. It's all chilled. Everyone knows what we're doing. Right, 90 after 90. Just check that's all right. That's okay. Right. Okay. We're gonna. So, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
We weren't panicking, were we?
No.
Not much, kid. Right. Let's. In fact, let's style it out so nobody knows that I'm just trying to reload all guests in while I'm talking to you now. I tell you what a community you lot are. Sticking around for something like that. I know we're in absolute shambles of tech at the best of times. That was unavoidable, I have to say. But wow, thank you to everybody that's with us. Do you know what? Those that don't catch us live, you won't know what I'm saying now. You won't know what I'm on about because you won't see any of it. It'll just be cut into a nice little, neat little bundle, and you'll think, "What's he on about?" There's not been any problems with stream. Oh boy! Right, so that's the first one loaded up. I can't remember what order they were in. I think Big T were next. Oh my! You see all that stuff come on screen then, so I don't know what it is. Right, we'll just load a couple up so we're ready to go. And I hope he's munching. What's Big T munching? We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. I don't think you can see me. Need these boys to be able to see us. We're back. We're cooking on gas. I know. Big T's just seen that we're back. He's loving it. Right. First of all, first things first that I have to do. I have to get a couple of these things. First of all, thank you to Paul. Give me £10. He's donated £10 to put in the meter. We need our Jimmy Ramble fix. Thank you, my mate. So do you know what the meter is, so? Some people, instead of paying like every month for their gas and electric, they'll put things in a meter and you'll get £10 worth of electric. So he's giving me £10 to put in a meter box so we get some electric so none of this happens again. It's funny, isn't it? I'm very generous. Thank you, Paul. Soph came to help me out. She's the engineer. I also have to say a huge thank you to our boy, Mr. Vancouver. Thank you, my mate. Hi, Jimmy. Wilder is the only man for me that is capable of getting the culture and winning formula back to our club. I'd like to get Cleary from Cal, and I never want to see Chong in a United shirt again. Send him out to a foreign land far away on loan just for the space. Up the blades. Thank you, Mr. V. That is very kind. So £10 from Paul for the meter and $100 Canadian from Mr. Vancouver. Thank you, my mate. So generous from both of you. Thank you. Right, let's get to let's resume our conversation with the man in black. Charlie's gone as well. We had Charlie lined up. I was looking forward to having a chat with Charlie. I still get to talk to Pete as well. So right, up next it's the man in black. We're going to get back to him. Skaz done. How's it going, pal? Yeah,
not too bad. I like when you leave me high and dry.
So sorry, my mate. So sorry. Honestly, I was sweating more than Jaffet Tanganga trying to chase down Dan Jevison. That's where I was sweating like when it all went.
You know what the funny bit was, Jimmy, was it literally everyone said it ended when I'm just wondering and it cut off.
I said that. I'm just wondering.
No, I said that. I'm just wondering if that happened, is what I was about to say. And yeah, I think everyone had an EastEnders moment for a second. You know, you get the dum next episode.
Yeah. Well, thank you to everybody. We've got 200 people back in here now. That's unreal. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Gaz, what were we saying, pal? Where were we? My head's on Mars. So, what?
So I was just mentioning then about, I'm just wondering if it was a good idea by Chris Wilder to come out and potentially, and I don't know if he has,
you just said, hadn't you? Yes, you just said, first of all, from you, Chris Wilder is the man for the job, undoubtedly. But, and this is the point, isn't it? Has he told players that they're already leaving? Is that where we're going?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he has, because don't get me wrong, it doesn't matter. They should be putting themselves in the shop window for other clubs. They should be playing for this badge on the shirt. People are renewing season tickets, playing their good hard money to go and watch them play football. And let's be honest, they're in a privileged position. They earn more money than most people earn in a year in like 2 weeks. Talk about anything else. So they're in a privileged position, and they should be going out and putting there is players on there that put 110% in. There is, and I'm not saying it's a lack of effort. It's just sometimes comes across that there isn't, and I think that's something that I'm hoping going into next season gets sorted, because let's be honest, this last 2 weeks has been an absolute nightmare.
It's been awful, hasn't it, mate? And it's frustrating. And look, you are a lot like me said in terms of very pro Wilder, but I do think he has to take his share of this a little bit in terms of he hasn't been able to get a tune out of these players. And I go with the theory that it's been a very difficult job to turn around. But 22, is it 22 games lost? 21 definitely. It might be 22 by now. That's not us. We're not. It's a loser's mentality. It's like we've no resilience about it, but there's no backbone about this side at all, is there?
No, and to be fair to him, he came out and said that in the presser.
Yeah, he did.
Sorry, post-match, he says the defence is shocking. He's said it. I'll be honest with you, second half, I thought, and it comes back, Lou mentioned it, Batman Lou mentioned it the other day, on the back of the Blackburn game, says it's easy second half to come out and look a better team because it couldn't get any worse.
Of course it is. It's a different game, isn't it? Different game second half.
But at least going forward, we look good, but then we get split open by one pass again. I actually went on this when I was on the watch along yesterday. I said McGuinness is high here, really high. He was stood.
That's a harsh accusation. Oh, you mean high up on the field? Right, got you. Positionally, got you now, mate.
Yeah, positionally, they have CDTs, you know. So yeah, he was really positionally. He was really high up in the field of play. He was literally halfway into their half, and I'm like, we could get caught here. Lo and behold, ball comes out, we get caught. I've got hope still for next season. I think he'll sort that defence out. I really do. I think we've got good. If we can keep some of these players, if we can keep Brooks, I think Peck goes. I think Gus goes. And I think we just need to bring in a couple of players. I've just been looking at the squad then. I reckon there's only about 13 to 15 players that stay for next season if Chris Wilder had his way, i.e. could get rid of the Matoses and the Chongs. That means he's probably going to have to bring in 12 players.
Yeah. It's
make a good 24, 25-man squad.
I think there's a chance we bring in 10, 11. It depends, because I don't think we'll be able to get everybody out that we want to, and that's the only reason. It's a huge ask to get some of these players out. If you're in an ideal world, if it's me and you talking, guys, we're probably honestly saying we get players out like Chong, like Matos, like McGuinness, and that you might keep McGuinness. That's negligible, but those players are on over 60 grand a week combined, and that is a huge chunk to get out of the football club. But who's going to pay those wages? That's the question, isn't it?
I think McGuinness stays. I think, let's be honest, at the moment we're probably going to have 2 centre backs next year.
I agree.
Yeah. I think Me'll personally retire. I think he'll retire.
Yeah,
I think he'll retire. And obviously Binden's going back. I think we keep McGuinness. Chong, we have to keep it. Matos, I'd pay off his contract. I'd pay off his contract. Just offer him 50-60% of what his contract is. It saves money in the long run. We don't want that sort of player around the club. If he's nowhere near, at least Chong's getting in the squad. You know what I mean? So, and that's because we haven't got anyone else at the moment. I get that. Matos isn't even getting in the squad now.
Has he had a chance, Matos?
Just a fair question. To be fair, he probably hasn't, but there must be a reason behind that. Because
I know Wilder makes his mind up on players, doesn't he? And if he's not fancied, he's not fancied. There's probably no way back, or there's very chance of a way back for it. A little chance. I think the only way Binden got him was because two of the 3 centre halves in front of him weren't available, and Binden wouldn't have got another chance otherwise. And he's earned his way back in with his performances. But I think that a lot's got to happen for Matos to even get that opportunity. So I don't see him getting the chance. But I don't know whether he's had a fair shake. From what I've seen, I haven't been impressed. I don't mean to sort of push a player that I think is to say he's going to change everything around, because I'm not convinced he does. But I think he can feel a little bit hard done by with his lack of minutes to a degree.
Yeah, but I'm guessing he's been playing in the 21s quite well. In fact, he has been playing in the 21s a bit. Yeah. I've seen it. I've no doubt that Chris Wilder's watched some of them matches. So he's had the opportunity.
Oh, and absolutely has. Yeah.
Chris says it all the time. Every time you put on a Sheffield United shirt, it's an opportunity to impress. So I don't think he turns off. I think technically, I don't think he turns off straight away from a player. I think attitude-wise, he does. I think he thinks you have the attitude, I can work with you. If you haven't got the attitude, you're out the door for me. And I do like that. You can teach technical ability in anything, whether it's football, trade, anything like that. In determination, drive, and that's harder to teach. That is really harder to teach. I think that's just a natural thing that comes with. But to make a professional footballer, you've got to be driven, surely. You've got to be driven, because otherwise you don't make it. Yeah,
agreed, mate. Agreed. Guys, I'm going to let you go, mate, because I've got a lot of people patiently waiting, and I've kept them longer because of this power cut. Just a little. Can you hear that house alarm going off in background?
No.
No, that's good. You shouldn't be able to, because where we set Mike up, but if you could, then I'd have to get up and close the door. So, right, thank you, my mate. Very much appreciate it. Thank you again for holding the fort. I appreciate it. Thanks to you and Dave Mwood again for the watch along yesterday. And I'll catch up with you soon, my mate.
Take care. I'll see you next week.
Cheers, pal. You will. See you soon.
Bye.
Top man, the man in black. Straight over to Big T. What you having, mate? What you having?
Chocolate raisins.
Chocolate raisins. Oh, nice. Just a little boost. Just a little boost there. Need it after yesterday. Go on.
But most important, is the wasp okay?
I think I missed it twice, so yeah, it's absolutely fine.
Good. You're seeing chat, it's gone here, well.
So,
no.
That's what's done it, isn't it? That's karma.
You kill a wasp, I'm telling you now.
I know, it's karma. It's karma.
It's karma.
It is, yeah.
You got it, and it came back to haunt you.
Either that or wasp got into the power system. I've no idea. And then at last laugh. So,
well, there you go. Serves me for trying to hit it.
Yeah, I look like an idiot swinging around a book and that, trying to kill a wasp and never got it in the end. Anyway. I know, mate. I know. Anyway, mate, how did you find it yesterday? Obviously, we've seen you ramble on the road. For those that aren't aware, that is out now on the Blades Ramble. No power cuts involved. A great 3 minutes on Tees Day yesterday.
Oh, I'll be honest with you. By half time, I wish there were power cuts up there.
Your half time review were crap. And other one was don't write off them blades yet. 2-1. Next cut to 3-1 Preston.
I've got eight dollars on, mate.
I know, mate. I know.
You know, I like to stay. So that's true. Where I wanted to stay till end. Oh, but it was hard work. 13 minutes, my lad went, I'm going with Grandad. I went, fair enough, lads. I'll see you.
Was it Joe that got off early?
George went with my dad and he went, I'll see that car in a bit. So I want to review it at end.
Yeah.
It's just hard work. It's not enjoyable.
I know. I said on my little rant that I had yesterday, it's like they're becoming unlikable again, and I don't like that. I've not turned off them all completely, but when they don't appear to be putting it in, it really turns me off in terms of I get annoyed with them because that's minimum expectation, isn't it? Put your centre about a bit and make the effort to get there. We look second best in every department, I thought, yesterday.
Up till 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I weren't going. I just sat here. I sat in the house.
Really?
Thought Shanta. Anyway, I was committed to cause.
You were, mate, and I appreciate it.
Keep it ramble.
Are you doing Derby as well?
I'll be doing Derby, of course I'll be doing Derby.
Good lad. You dressing up?
Derby. It's just because things are bad. Played for life, not just for good times.
Are you dressing up? Because it's a fancy dress thing, isn't it, away days? Last away day.
No, I'm not dressing up.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I thought you were a bit partial to... I'm not going to go there, don't worry.
I was sat having a...
Do you know what, mate?
I'll go there. I couldn't believe it. I last time I went to the stage and I went, now there'll be somebody who I know. She went, no, go on. And then that photo up, and then George sent me a photo saying, no, I didn't believe it. I thought, oh.
You are unbelievable, mate. And I mean that in terms of, I know you wouldn't think that you got embarrassed by stuff like that, but you like dressing up, having a good time, doing your hobbies, Rocky Horror Picture Show and stuff like that.
You know, laugh.
No to be embarrassed about one bit. I love it. I love the fact that you're up for crack, and you sent us a video, didn't you, into Platinum Chat not long since about doing your Hulk Hogan dress up and stuff like that.
That starts like in a couple of weeks' time at Sheffield.
So good. But don't ever second guess yourself, mate, because that's I love it. I
was showing yesterday. Dad says, "Are you getting dressed up?" And I went, "No." So I might go out after. She went, "Oh, go on, Dad. Go on. It's great fun when you do it." So.
That's what it's about, isn't it? We went to a party afterwards. We rushed down from game, and I'm sober, so I had to drive and meet them there because they went down with Sam's sister and that. So I drove down on my own and met them there. So I'm sober as a judge, and they're all on dance floor and stuff. And you think, I'm not, there's a lot of women on dance floor and no blokes or all like that. But Sophie's saying, come on, Daddy, I want to dance with you. I want to dance. So you do it, don't you? You do it, you get up and you make a fool of yourself.
Keep smiling.
Exactly right, mate.
You can't teach memories, can you?
No, you can't, mate. And I thought she'll remember that we've been up dancing more than, hopefully, I'll remember what Sheffield United were doing this week. And it's not just yesterday. It's bloody Blackburn on Wednesday. It's all season, mate, to be fair. We've been shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Well, back to football matches. It's just been... I can't think of 10 decent games I've seen this year. I can think of 10 wins.
Yeah.
But I can't think of
just
10... Yeah, I can't think of coming out of a game and going, all right.
Yeah. Been very few and far between, hasn't it?
Remember QPR, that was half decent, but they were poor.
Yeah.
I think Wilder's got one hell of a summer coming. And I don't know when he's in his holidays, but I hope he's cancelled it because he's got some great work to put in. He
knows it and all. He knows. He's been saying it in press as its biggest job I've had on and stuff, and he's sort of building it up as to being a hell of a challenge. And it is. And some people look at it and think, well, it's, you only had about 2 months at a job, and a lot of them are your players and all this sort of. They didn't live it, and they didn't see the destruction that went into the club. The club tried to 180 everything that we were doing. They tried to move it away from it being a one-man thing. We went to a more completely 180 on like recruitment and everything. Then we panicked last minute in transfer window and went back to a Wilder type recruitment by championship players that have played at the level and chucking a bit more money at it than we would normally, and just panic buying, and it's left us with a collection of AI players that we've either sold a lot of them or trying to sell them, and championship bang average championship players, a lot of whom have already been relegated from this league very recently. So that's not good enough for what we expect as a football club.
I don't think the players who were there that didn't know Wild before can get to the gist of what he's trying to get over.
Yeah,
I think they're jobbing players. They're there to pick up a wage, as Wilder brings in players committed to the cause, and he always has done.
Yeah, agreed. I think you look at the simple stuff, like we knew we had Jimmy Dunn lined up, and don't get me wrong, we go back to that and people sort of criticise me for that. I don't think he's an absolutely game-changing signing, but he's solid, and he's
what I call a Wilder signing.
He's a captain. He's somebody that he's rugged, he's tough, he scores goals at the level. I think he's just a very good or a good championship defender, and we know that we'd have got McBurney back. And a lot of people in the summer might think, well, it's not much of a miss, but look at him now. Look at him at Hull and what he's done. And I'm not like, I think if we get McBurney, we don't sign Bamford, and I'm very happy with Pat Bamford. So it's sliding doors with stuff like this, isn't it? But I just think he's got such a job on his hands now to get rid of some of these, and it's a big ask. I think we need to realign his expectations as to what's going to be happening going forward.
I think it's a rebuild again next year. I know we'll probably sneak in 8th, 7th into the playoffs, but I don't think we're nowhere near ready enough for going up next year. But did you notice? And I don't know where you were sat yesterday. What stand were you on?
I went upper again.
It'll have been really good for you if you've been on Sal, well, Family Enclosure, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else saw it. Peck and Chong having a great barn at each other.
Yeah, I did.
And then Peck doesn't pass to Chong, rest it off.
Peck tried to put Chong through to the byline.
Yes,
and he didn't read it at all. He just stayed where he was. And Peck goes, "What the hell? Why aren't you moving?"
And then all first off, because they were right near me. You know where I sit.
Yeah.
I was right near, and I could hear Peck shouting in his ear.
Yeah.
When it was maybe 5-10 minutes after, he was still having a go at him.
This is a kid that's come into the team like properly these last 18 months or so. And he's telling seasoned pros, Chong's played in Premier League. Where's Chong's bottle to go back at him? I don't know. It's just
he's just stood there with.
I know.
Give it that one. I tell you, I think I mentioned it last time on the stream. Jaffa, every time he makes a mistake, points to somebody else out.
I know.
Somebody else's fault. That's not a captain.
I have to bite my tongue with him a minute, mate, honestly. And I hope he turns it round on me.
Take it on shoulders, you crap kid. So you said that. All right. I'm bigger than him. All right.
You are, yeah.
Take responsibility. All right. If you make a bad mistake, say, I'm sorry. Don't put McGuinness who's 20 yards away and say, where were you?
It's not just that. It's it's not taking responsibility in the moment as well. So when they're chasing Jebbo back as a 2, don't just think, oh, well, McGuinness is there, so I'll sort of saunter back alongside him and sort of maybe cover. No, in case McGuinness don't get there, I'll break my neck to try and get in front of him and get the ball myself. Take responsibility on your shoulders and deal with the threat. Don't just think, oh, well, he's kind of got it, so I'll be... There's either no foresight, no commitment. I don't know what it is, but it's not captain material for me. It's just not.
So. You were saying about McGuinness running. Don't you think it looks like a giraffe?
Yeah, it does.
It's all legs.
Yeah, it's so slow.
His arms are some.
It's so slow.
It's awful.
Honestly, I'd fancy us to beat him in a foot race, mate. Honestly, I would. So.
Well, I won't now. We'd both lose.
If we leg him up, we'll be all right. Sit on him, maybe.
We're in a race, we both come second.
I'll sit on him and you run past him. That's where we'll do it.
No, I'll sit on him and wait and move me.
Right, pal. I'm going to leave it there. Anything else you'd like to say before I let you go?
Come on, next season.
Good lad. See you in a bit. Top man, Dave Mwood in the building. How you going, pal?
I'm good, mate. Big Tony, don't ever change, mate.
I know.
Not change.
Exactly right. You wouldn't believe he gets self-conscious about stuff like that, would you? Because, he's a huge personality, but we love him just as he is, don't we, mate?
Keep on going. Keep on going, right. Big T.
Absolutely right. Just be yourself, pal. Be yourself. Yeah, how are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I've got over it. I had a certain visitor come today to see me, so that got rid of my frustrations and anger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I won't ask any questions, but yeah, that's fair enough.
All good, mate. Yeah.
I won't watch along.
They were absolutely diabolical. No heart. Gutless. I can say this because I'm not going to the players' do at the end of the season.
It's really testing the positive element of our fans, isn't it? You are part of the positive 6, I think, now. So it's not really. It's testing.
I told Gaz the watch along. It was first off. It was like excruciating, mate. It really was. And to top it all, my stream's not working. My internet TV's gone down.
All right. Okay.
So I had to buy it from Sheffield United TV.
What?
And it kept freezing and buffering. And at one point, it buffered just after we got it back to 2-1. And I'm saying to the guys, mine's gone again. Yeah, mine has, Dave. And then mine's back.
He said,
mine's back now, guys. Mine's back now. And I'm in the 31st minute. I'm in the first half again.
I was messaging Gaz about watch along and just asking how it had gone and stuff like that, and were you both okay? Everything get on all right? And he said there were loads in the comments while they're out.
Yeah,
I find, and I get again, it's people's frustration in the moment. That's one thing, and they might feel differently in the cold light of day. But also, I do think it's a vocal minority. But you can't ignore it that there are some people saying we'd be better with a change. I know, like me, Dave, you, and like a lot of. Certainly Platinum Ramblers, you're pro Wilder, but what sort of reasons were people giving? Were it just a disappointment in the season overall, or what were the situation, mate?
It was like, oh, you can't blame Sellers. Wilder's had 40 games to get this right, and look what he's done. Look where we are. And I'm thinking, yeah, look where we were when he come in.
Yeah.
We'd had 3 shots on goal in 5 games, I think.
Yeah.
When Wilder came in.
We were awful.
It was terrible, and we keep saying it. If not Wilder, who do you want?
Oh.
And then somebody comes up in a Blades group today. Oh, Rossinia's out of a job.
I knew that name had come up, Rossinia. Yeah. Just been sacked by Chelsea, pocketed about 20 million quid. Oh, I'll go to Sheffield United.
£1 a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't need the money. No, I don't know if I mentioned it. I mentioned it. My son texted me after the game, Mark, saying, what a pile of poop that was and stuff. Yeah. And I said to him, what I think we need to do is, we know that Wilder's second in command ain't going to take control when Wilder goes, because Alan Mills,
Yeah.
getting on a bit. He don't want to be. So get somebody in, get a younger guy in who can learn the job, learn what it's all about.
Interesting.
You know, and I don't just mean Billy Shaw. I mean, it could be Billy Shaw. It could be anybody, but people.
Oh, waiting. People will be saying now, Billy, when's Billy coming? When's he coming in?
Yeah. When's Billy coming in?
I know.
But it was just like, you know, the second half was better. But as they said, why?
Yeah.
Why is the second half better? Why is the first half like that?
Yeah. It's a different game, though, isn't it? We've said it, though, haven't we? It's a different mentality when you're chasing the game, and when they're defending a lead, it turns into a different game. It becomes attack versus defence, and they don't have to do anything particularly. So it's a different game, really.
The third goal, like, you know, Gab said, he was saying, like, we're up high, like McGuinness is up high, and then the next thing was, pass through.
Yeah.
He goes running on, and did you see Tanganga try and pull him back when he got to the penalty area?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Honestly, I can't comment on Tanganga at the minute because I will say something that I regret, I think, because I do get caught up in the emotion of it, but I want him to...
You're trying to get sent off. If you pull him back, it's a penalty and a red card. Then you're done for the season.
I want him to come good. I really do. And I want all our players to come good. But I just think that he's looking undroppable at the minute. Like, there's no, and I don't think we've got a lot of options. Obviously, we've got Tyler Binden for next one more game, and we've got McGuinness. And whatever's happened to Ben Mee, wherever he is, I don't know. But I think it's nailed on that Tanganga starts against Derby. And why? Do his performances merit that? I'm not sure. Is it because he's best of a bad bunch, which in itself is embarrassing? So, while we're talking about centre halves, Dave, there's a lot of talk about Harry Souttar coming back. Certainly, news is circulating that Sheffield United are interested again. What would be I know a lot of Blades are concerned about his fitness and what Harry Souttar's coming back, but he played for Leicester against Millwall the other night, scored, but looked really good as well throughout the game. What would your thoughts be on Big H coming back?
Type of defender. I mean, there was one guy had a shot, didn't he? And Souttar just stuck his head in, get it out for a corner.
It's what you want.
You know, which is what you want, a defender that is going to defend. But I'd see if we can get him. Maybe exchange Chonga Matos for him. Because they're in the first division now, Leicester, aren't they?
Do you know, all joking aside, I wonder if they would take... So we're talking about... I mean, I'm going to do some videos on this, so I don't want to spoil too much of what I'm going to talk about, but I've already mentioned that I would look to bring Harry Souttar in on loan, because I think it goes against... we haven't going to have a lot of money to spend on transfer fees, and I think they'd want a bit of money for him. He's a good asset for them, but also he's on big wages, and it might be a little bit like Luton have done, where they loan their bigger earners to the Championship, because then if they come back next season, they keep that player, if that makes sense. So I think it will be like, it will suit Leicester to loan Harry Souttar to us. If he does well for us, then we can always look to buy him anyway. But that sort of offsets the risk of any injuries that might happen during the season, and we've not spent a load of money on him. The Hamza Chowdhury one I'm really interested in as well. I still think there's interest in Hamza Chowdhury. And would we potentially either loan or include Tom Cannon in a deal with Leicester? Because he's played for them before, obviously, but I think in League One, he potentially is a very good player for them.
And I think loan him for the season.
I thought the same.
You know, I was watching football this morning, and I'm thinking, I want Tottenham to stay up, mate.
Yeah.
And then go and see if we can get Will Lancashire off of them.
Oh, I like Will Lancashire. I
think he's a better. Well, I mean, he's done it. Is it double figures this season?
Yeah, he has.
For Oxford.
Yep.
You know, and I think he's a better player at the moment than having Ryan Oney.
I agree. Oh, I agree with that. I think he's more developed, and I think if Tottenham go down, I think he'll be involved in their squad in the Championship.
He will be. Yeah, that's why I want them staying up.
Interesting, mate. Some really good points, as always. Anything else?
I'm going to go and have my tea now, mate. And plans for the summer? I'm going on the beach quite a lot, I think.
Bit like our lot.
bit like, well, yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but then again, I ain't going to the players' league, do so.
What is going to happen there? I've no idea. It's carnage. We know a couple of them watch as well, so what am I doing?
I'm surprised anybody's going, really.
Yeah, I know. You just got to be honest, don't you, though? You've got to be honest with how you feel about it. That's what we are as a channel, as I say, and that's what we'll always do. And we can be disappointed and, expect more from them.
We'll still be there next season.
Of course we will. Of course we will, mate.
Probably in a lot better position.
Let's hope so.
But it remains to be seen, mate. So anyway, I'll let you go, mate.
Thank you, my mate. Great to speak to you. Top man.
Happy birthday, Brett.
Happy birthday, Brett. Well said, mate. Well said. Happy birthday to Brett, who's out stuffing his face with all-you-can-eat meats tonight, I believe. Top man.
All right, cheers,
all right, pal.
mate.
See you soon. Ta-da, mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Pete Rogers.
Hello,
my mate. How are you?
I'm all right.
This is a promise to Mark Melger, isn't it? That you're fulfilling.
Sorry, just onto that. So my mate from work's ringing. Sorry.
Unbelievable.
Jim, start again.
So this is a promise to Mark Melger, isn't it? That you're going to come on and show your face.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Oh, he's been badgering me.
I'm not surprised. I'd be badgering you now.
He's been on my case for months. So I thought, right, I'm going to do it. Go on.
The thing is, Pete, he knows the value that you can bring, so don't let him down now.
Yeah.
don't be letting him down now. You've got to put an outstanding performance in here. So you tell me what you've got to say, pal.
Well, let me start. Right, my two youngest grandkids went to match yesterday.
Yeah.
And to cut long story short, we went to hotel after.
Yeah.
And then my youngest one, our Silver, wanted to go and see players after. When they're coming out, like.
Yeah.
So they went, I stayed in. I'd had enough of them on the field. I weren't going to watch them walk out. So she went and met Danny Ings, and Danny Ings said, "Oh, how did you go on? Did you enjoy it?" And they went, "Oh, yeah. And Danny Ings said, "Well, I didn't. We were rubbish." And that went straight from horse's mouth.
He's right. We were rubbish.
Yeah, we were.
Do you think Danny Ings has had a fair enough crack this season?
What's he doing training though, Jimmy?
We don't know, do we? We don't know, and that's a fair point. We don't know that.
Yeah, but I know your dad loves him.
He does.
I do.
I've got him chelping in my ear every game though, Pete, saying, well, where's Cannon? Danny Ings had nailed that. Danny Ings, blah, blah, blah. But Danny Ings hasn't looked bad since he's come on, all this sort of stuff. He's got it fixated in his head. Like we all do. We've got his favourites and we've got them that we're not keen on. And then you sort of see him in a different light, don't you, I think, sometimes. Like if I'm a big Ollie Arblaster fan, and I think if Ollie Arblaster has a poor game, I can always make allowances for him as to why. But I'm not the biggest Chong fan, for example. And if he has a poor game, then I'm all over him. I'm just like, he's useless. What's he even playing for? All this sort of thing. So you've got to balance it, haven't you, really, and try and be fair. Try and take your own opinions out of it. But my dad never does that, so why should we?
You know what? You're saying, oh, well, what about he goes? Well, he can go. You know what? And I've been saying this for weeks. It's not just that. They all can go for me. I'm not bothered who stays. Honestly, genuinely, couldn't care less.
I think I weren't far away from saying similar. Are there any players for you that you would say are completely indispensable to this side? I think there's probably Patrick Bamford in terms of what he gives us in terms of goals at top of pitch. Cooper for me, yeah, I would agree with you. McCallum, yeah. And who'd have thought would have been saying that 12 months ago?
He was a bit part player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
But he's been, like with Burrows, so disappointing this
But those three that you've mentioned, I don't think we fear any of those three going to it in summer, just because of different circumstances. Bamford's new when he signed a new deal. Yep. McCallum's been out injured. Cooper's had a poor start to the season due to carrying an injury, and then he's been out injured. So I don't fear losing any of them three. But in terms of like first team yesterday, Callum O'Hare maybe I still don't think he'd go.
He was a great first half at season, Jimmy, but Oh, he's gone off at Boyle again.
He has. He has, yeah. He
And
has,
I
that's
wish
fair
he
to
put
say.
some studs in his boots. All he was doing is falling off.
I know. He needs more power in his legs. I know Jack keeps talking about getting him out leg machines, but it's he can't. He doesn't ever look confident enough to shoot and don't get any power behind it for me.
Oh,
and for a
well,
number
shoot.
10, you need to be able to operate outside the 18-yard box and not just inside it for me. So
I think they pass it and pass it and pass it. We all see it. We're not blind.
yeah.
We pass it, pass it, pass it. None of them have got the minerals to have a shot.
No, I know. And it's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really frustrating.
Trying to walk it in there because they think, oh, I don't shoot and miss because crowd will get onto me back. I mean, they've got no bottle, have they, Jim? Come on. They're not a United side, what we grew up on.
I know what you grew up on. And then I'm a different generation. I'm obviously a much younger generation, Pete, but it's not a... It's not.
Is he as old as we've been together?
Jimmy,
Yes.
how old are you now? Are you...
I'm 25.
No,
I'm 42. I've just turned 42.
42.
And we met 40 years ago on
Yeah.
the top. So
We met, me and
Oh,
Diane.
you're still playing at it, Jimmy.
Yeah, Mark Diane's just saying you're only playing at it. Me and my wife met in 1985 on COP.
I know. I remember you telling us that story about...
We wouldn't be beat Dingles.
I
So
know.
take that.
I know.
Yeah, Preston.
It'll do. I love that story about your two meeting on COP. By the way, as well, you look great after you're up. I thought you'd
I'm
been...
doing all right, Jimmy. Yeah.
I thought you were trying to get a bit more time off work, I think, weren't you, in terms of saying it was going to be a 4-week recovery or something.
No. Yeah, I've had a week off. I've got another week to go, and I go back day after bank holiday.
Right, nice
Because
one.
of the job I do, Jimmy.
Yeah,
If I'm
not
in
to
an
do it
office-
barbecue on bank holiday. No, not to do.
No, if I were in an office or doing something like you, nice and clean and everything.
Oh yeah, nice and cozy. Yeah, chilled. Yeah,
But because I'm a welder in a foundry, it's a
Yeah.
bit mucky like. So,
it is. It is. That's true. That's true. What do we need to do, mate, in summer? I know you say you get rid of a lot of, like, for example, before I know I'm going to go about all over the place like I do here, but what have you thought? What have you thought to Adam Davis since he's come in?
Right.
Oh,
He's a good shot stopper, Jim, but like he's glued at line.
Don't you think he's done himself proud though, in terms of way he came in under spotlight because a lot of us thought he's useless. Because from odd appearance we'd seen when he'd had 1 or 2 games back to back and stuff like that, and it kept coming in and out for odd cup game or whatever, or a suspension, he hadn't looked good at all. And we were all thinking we need an upgrade here. I think he's been given 10 games or something, and I think he's looked all right. I have to say.
Right. I mean, that against Blackburn, he pulled off 2 good saves.
Yeah, he did. Second goal.
And all them dumplings in front of him are just gawping at him.
You don't need to bring Jamie into it.
Play, put it in.
Yeah, absolutely right. In fact, because I don't get to speak to you on this often, I know you've come on After Party a couple of times, but I want this to be
It's my debut, Jim.
I know. I want you to be a new regular caller on 90 After 90 because we always chat about Blades, and I always love having a chat with you
Jimmy,
about
you
it.
know why I don't? And I'll be honest with you, I'm always too much of that.
Yeah, well, that's a different conversation.
I've always had too much to drink.
We can do it behind a curtain, and you can confess stuff
like
to me.
Diane's on.
Yeah. what a shock. Right. Honest opinions before I let you go. Remember, it's a family channel. Jaffet Tanganga.
Oh, God.
Not you, Di. Not you.
No, I'm keeping
No,
God's on this one.
On Wednesday night, did you go, Jimmy? Because you went very well, were you?
I went to the game. I missed TP because we just went straight to the ground and straight home.
Did you bump Ramble up there?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Right. If it was on John Street, you know where I sit.
Yeah.
Gyro passed it ball, and he were having a rate pop at Gyro for passing it ball.
Yeah, mate.
Honestly, and our Kimberley, I've never heard, she exploded at him, shouting and bawling at him.
She a potty mouth? Was she a potty mouth?
Slightly.
It's disgraceful from Kim.
Just like a mother.
Well, I wouldn't have said that, mate. I wouldn't have said that, to be fair. So what's your thoughts on him, though? Do you think he's a...
He's not a captain.
He's certainly not a captain, we know that. But do you think he's got enough ability that if he puts... You know, can we see a future for him at Bramall Lane, or do we think he's just not a Blades player?
Well, he's got to buck his ideas up, Jim, big time. Honestly, it just for me, it's like he don't want to be here.
I think so. He looks. I've said it before, and I don't mean to speak out of turn, but I think he looks like an unhappy London boy to me. Last question before I let you go, mate. If you have to give armband to anybody else in the current squad, I know we've all got a few names that we think might be coming in. Who do you get to?
In current squad, Jimmy. Oh Christ!
Because he's going to change. He's got to change it in summer, hasn't he? And you'd think if a Kyle Walker comes in, it might be Kyle that wears it or whatever, or a suitor.
Ollie Blaster.
Would you get Blaster?
Yeah. Even if, well, because he's not playing all the time, or I don't know if Gyro's a captain.
Different type of captain, isn't he, Gyro?
Yeah, he leads by example, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
which isn't always a bad thing. You'd think Tanganga would be that sort, but he hasn't been leading by example, has he? That's different. So,
yeah, he's got a Wilder's got a. I mean, you know, all these that like I know plenty of them where they say, "Oh, I had enough of Wilder in that." Who are you going to bring in then? They never come back with a name. Never.
Or it's somebody like Thomas Frank or Liam Rossini and stuff like that, isn't it? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Wilder, I think there's a culture in there. What it needs to get rid of it.
Yeah,
there's something not right. We know.
I agree.
We're not blind.
It's deep rooted, isn't it? It's more than a confidence thing. It is a culture thing, undoubtedly. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. Thank you for coming on, making your 90 after 90 debut.
You hurting after busting them moves last week. I know what.
What? Am I hips hurting?
After busting all them moves. We do it worm.
These hips don't lie, and they're not they're not telling a good tale. I'll tell you that this morning. So I can't keep up with them youngsters. Not that I were ever used to anyway.
I went dancing competition, good at that.
I'm Andy Smith's lad, so I can hold a bit of a move like, but I'm not too good at it. So it's one of them.
Oh, they're better than me, mate.
No, I don't think so, pal. I don't think so. Anyway, we'll be catching. When am I seeing you next, Narcus?
Are we having a Ramblers do?
Yeah, we'll have to have a Ramblers do. We'll sort it out. There's a lot of us going out after players do.
Together, mate.
Yeah, we'll sort something out, mate. We'll have to do, won't we?
Because I'm not going to play. I'm glad I'm not actually, because I'd said something I'd regret. I'm going to play it years too.
I've already done that online, so we'll have to wait and see what comes of that.
No, I agree with Dave Mwood.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Yeah.
Top man.
Right.
Cheers, Pete. Thanks for coming on, mate. See you later, Di. See you later.
Ramble.
Hey, love that. Cheers, guys. See you soon. Charlie! How you doing? You okay? Oh, are you muted? I don't know. Can I? Hello? No, I can't hear you. I've unmuted you. Oh, no. You won't believe technical issues on the Ramble. It just don't happen. Hang on. You definitely unmuted our end. Definitely. It might be a log out, log back in job, Charlie, if that's all right. Cool. Good stuff. And while we're waiting, that didn't take long, did it? We will go to Richie Rich. How's it going, pal?
Not so bad, mate. How's you?
Looking very chilled there,
mate. No, yeah.
Bit of a poo-housery.
Poo-housery.
Yeah.
No, I'm all right. I had to move from the kitchen because it was being used. So,
and also, you have been waiting a while, haven't you, pal? To be fair, to speak to us, so I do apologise.
It's all right. I thought I was doing the technical gremlins. I thought I was.
That's all right.
I've had a few of them today.
I've been stressing in background because Adam's waiting to come on as well. I can see him here, but I can't get him on screen as well in background. So I'm trying to get his camera up, and it's not working. So, mate,
it's all right, it's like us.
Were you actually working for the game yesterday?
No, I managed to get some time off. So yeah, it was.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So did you manage to watch the game?
I managed to watch it for all the sins of calling in favours with like the wife and all the rest of it, of letting me have the TV. I wish I didn't bother now.
Yeah, I bet, mate. How bad was that?
It was like Groundhog Day again, wasn't it? From Wednesday night, it was just it really didn't look like being at the races. I was hopeful when I saw our Blasters and Peck's name in the team.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that they had a bad game, but you know, it's my feelings on Jaffa. I've been quite vocal over the past few weeks over it.
You have. You're one of the first to say it, I have to say out loud.
And I still I agree with some of the comments about him not being a captain.
I agree.
I'm surprised that Wilder still kept him as captain, but then as you say it, it's over the summer. It's going to be a really, really big summer. I think probably the biggest, even before like League One and the Dean Hammonds and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It's I think it's much bigger than that, and that's where I know that some Blades fans are going to be like, we need to be in the promotion race, we need to be like near the automatics next season. Got to remember, it's now sort of a major overhaul. He was wanting to overhaul it. He was wanting to overhaul it last summer, and then all this. The thing I want to happen this summer is that as soon as that whistle goes at Derby, it's we're gonna this is where we're going pre-season. This is when the players are coming back. It needs to be all sort of,
and only half of them are coming back.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
We're gonna pay off.
Yeah.
But it needs to be sort of the, rather than
lay out the plan.
Yeah. Rather than, it's like, wasn't it this year, this retained list? It took forever to come out.
Yeah, we won at last ones, weren't we?
And I think we were on the day of when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was like, it just looks like so.
Thing is, Rich, I agree with you in terms of Tanganga is not captain material. Obviously, I've said it myself. I don't think he's not dropping him. So there's no way he's stripping him at captaincy. I also think it would be quite harmful to strip somebody of the captaincy during the season. Because it's a damning. It's all right. It's one thing dropping him out at team and giving him a rest, and you can always sort of buffer that a little bit and give it an excuse. Oh well, he's played a lot of games, he's played a lot of minutes, but to actually strip the captaincy off him and say he's not been our captain this year or the captain that I thought he was going to be, I think it's much cleaner.
Wasn't club captain Arblaster?
Potentially.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, fair enough.
But Arblaster were out injured for 13 months.
Like first half of the season, and yeah, fair enough.
But I know what you mean. We haven't got anybody, I don't think, that's an ideal. We haven't got a Chris Morgan. We haven't got a Billy Sharp, have we? Somebody or even a John Egan, who I don't quite think is on the same level of captaincy as those two, but we haven't got anybody that you can point to and say they're a leader and sort of set the standard. If a Kyle Walker comes in, like we say, but if there's nobody obvious to give it to, then I don't think I think it's much cleaner to do it in the closed season, particularly when we know who's going to be lining up for us. That we circle back to Harry Souttar, and I know there's interest in Harry Souttar, as a lot of us do, and Danny Hall's touched on it. We've mentioned it as well. Now I'm much more comfortable mentioning names that I've heard about once Danny Hall's done it, because I'm not being the one that chucks names in. But because I've been done with that before. But we could circle back to older heads that Wilder's previously liked that would potentially come back up in conversation. Joe Worrell would be another example. If we got a Joe Worrell in instead of a Harry Souttar, ideal captain. Captain. So these are the sort of things that once we know, like you say, once we know when the players are back, what the squad's going to be, what's it going to half look like, that's when you make your big decisions like who's wearing the armband. It's no good, signing a Joe Worrell on the last day of the transfer window when we've played 4 games already or whatever. I know it's different this year, but for example, in years gone by, and then giving him the armband. I think in the summer we need to make a decision, make a clean shout on who's going to be our captain, because I think it sets the tone. I'm not saying it's as important as it once was. I think it's more of a gesture than a lot of things nowadays. But I think you still have to hold yourself to a certain level, and I don't think I think it potentially weighs heavy on him as well.
It does, and I suppose when you've got like going back to Arblaster in the Premier League, there was a tendency of like, oh, Wilder's giving it to an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
It's that there's pressure on him, and he performed well under that pressure. You
Yeah.
can also say Jaffa's not playing well with that pressure on, but I think it's being a captain. I can understand that, you've got the leading the players out, being sort of the calm head, communicating with the referee and all that.
Yeah.
But you also need to be a performer, because if Wilder, you can say Wilder's been under pressure because they've not performed right well, but then it's like a bit at work. You've got Wilder as manager, and then you've got almost like Jaffa, who's the manager when they go over the white line, and they've not been performing right well.
And it all goes wrong when they cross that white line, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, because it just shows, really, because when the past couple of games, as soon as they're coming off the second half, I would have loved to. I bet that was that fly that was on the wall on Wednesday night, because I bet a fly wouldn't have survived on there on Wednesday night in the dressing room. Because I bet you that swearing jar must have been full that night.
I bet it was.
But, you can see he is not happy with that team. Really, really detests it.
Well, let me ask you a final question, then, Mitch, before I let you go, because obviously I've still got people waiting, and it's been a bit of a mixed bag. I've really enjoyed tonight so far, and other than the huge power cut during, and thank you again for everybody for sticking with us. But what do you make of what some are calling deflection tactics that Wilder's using in some of these interviews? And again, I'm playing devil's a little bit, but he comes out and he's regularly saying it's not a tactical issue, it's not a preparation issue, it's we're preparing them as best we can before they cross the white line. Do you think he's deflecting a little bit, or do you think you agree with largely what he's saying, and players aren't really capable of doing what he's asking them to do?
No, I agree with what he says. It's like he's preparing them the best they can, and like, for instance, I said the other day up at Bristol City, he went. He said that he got it wrong. You can see he changed it. Blackburn, he changed it. He's actively trying to look at it. But you also said he's mentioned in the presser after the game. They know where the dangers are going to come from, so the players need to act on it, and that's
no desire to put their head on it. That's what he was saying, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's mentioned it a couple of times. So we can circle around to like, what do you call desire? Last season we were having this conflab about players pulling shirts and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's not desire. That's trying to gain a sort of an extra yard or play the game a bit. But it's a lot of it has to be down to the players. He can only prepare them so much, and I think,
I agree. And I think if you're just trying to look at it from Wilder's position, and if you have prepared them for a defensive set play, where you say that Liam Lindsay is the threat from set pieces, we're going to put our best header on Liam Lindsay, and we're going to mark him, and we're going to make sure he doesn't win that ball. And then you come in at half-time, and you've conceded from 2 corners, and Liam Lindsay's the one that scored both times. You can understand why he would come out post-match and say, we have prepared for this, we knew who the threat was, and there's no desire from our boys to get in front of him and win the ball.
You can see because I'm saying you've probably not seen as much of the replays as I've sort of looked at when I was on.
That's true. That's true.
You can see.
I don't watch the replays when we lose.
Yeah, no.
I'm that pathetic.
Hamer is actually trying to do a block on Lindsay on I think it was the first goal. And
don't get me wrong, he's a unit, he's Gus, but he's 5'4", so you know what I mean.
Well, granted, that's a bit of a mismatch. Now, if that was put like, oh, hey, Hamer, you're going to have to stop him making him a run or whatever, I can understand that being a bit of a mismatch. But as a team, we just don't seem to be. We'll die for this shirt. It's that, you know, I can say Arblaster can do that, Peck can do that, but the rest of them, no. There's no.
It's disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's when people have been to work, they can take a paycheck home and think, yeah, I've earned that. I don't think any of those players could say that this week.
Another one that you can tell not going to player at year do, but we're putting this out, so
yeah,
blame
well,
me
yeah,
for it.
there you go.
Rich, top man, as always, thank you for coming on. It's great to see you on more often, and I'll hopefully catch up with you very soon, mate. Okay.
Yeah, will do, mate. Up the blades.
Top man. Cheers. See you soon. Try it again, Charlie. How's it going?
All right, Jimmy, how are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Good to see you. We were in much better spirits before the game yesterday when we met at Triple Point, weren't we? Than I'm sure we were after the game. What were your thoughts on it, Charlie?
Well, I enjoyed going to the beach.
Yeah.
It's a nice sunny day. Got a lovely bit of a suntan going off.
Yeah.
Lovely
It felt like that.
singing from the cop. We just had so much fun on the cop singing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, and some people were running around playing beach volleyball by the looks of it.
That's exactly what it was. It's so disappointing. It winds me up.
It's so frustrating.
It's
so frustrating.
I don't like to think of it that it's a conscious thing, and I don't think it is a conscious thing from the players, but these are playing for their futures. They've given us nothing all season apart from the odd game. Where is the respect for the fan base in sort of saying, I know we've had a bad season, but we're gonna put everything into these last couple of performances and show you that next season we'll put it right. There just doesn't seem to be any sort of oomph from them at all. And I talk about them as a collective. There's the odd one or two that you can probably pick out, but not always. Not always, to be honest. Anybody stand out for you yesterday, Charlie? Because I came off yesterday, and when I did my little rant afterwards, I don't think any of them can really hold their head up high and say I did really well. I put everything into it yesterday. I don't know if you disagree. If you thought anybody, stood out.
Not particularly stood out as such, but I mean, you can imagine it. Jaffett's running around saying, God, I've come to a team and I should be with Millwall, who are now playing for automatic promotion.
Yeah. Own goal from him.
Yeah, I mean, he was he team player of the year 2024-25 for Millwall. Look at him now. He's come to the dizzy heights of being 15th in the league.
Deary me.
You know, he played for England under 16s, 17, 18, 19s. He played in the Bungers League. You'd think with all that experience and all that talent, we would have had a better season with him.
He's got a good pedigree. He's got a really good pedigree.
Got an excellent pedigree.
Yeah, and this is why we're all so excited when he signed. It was a real statement from Sheffield United to go out and sign what was reputationally one of the best defenders in the Championship.
He says his playing style is attacking and to get to the person before they get their head up and start marching on. I will be there to stop that. Yeah. Have we seen any of that statement?
You're winding me up now, aren't you? You're trying to wind me up.
No. That's quote for quote.
Oh, no. Why do... What? Oh... Which again makes it worse because I've not seen any of that desire from. Look, on the odd occasion, look when Jaffett first signed for us and he played in that Borough game, he was incredible, and we were like, wow, this boy in a terrible side is a shining light, and hopefully he's the light at the end of the tunnel. Where if we can turn this around, we can build around him because he looks brilliant. I don't know whether he's just had all the air knocked out. Like you say, it must be a real kicker for him, having Millwall being right up at the top and playing really well this season. And he could have been involved in that. And he's come to Sheffield United, who he obviously thought had a better chance of promotion. And he's probably doubled his money and, he's doing very well financially, but he's had to relocate. And again, I stand on this. I think he looks unhappy being up north to me. And that's just purely speculative from my point. But it might be one of a few things. And I don't know whether he feels like it's not quite the standard he thought we were going to be, because we haven't been this season, no doubt about it. And do you still hold faith then, Charlie, that he could be a better player with better players around him then? Do you think if next season it's highly likely that he'll be here, whether he's captain or not is a different conversation, but do you think if Wilder can bring in the right players to lift our levels, that Japhet Tanganga can look a real asset for us again?
Yes, you can. Any one of them can. If they've got the right mentality, it's the case of there are many parts to a machine. And make them good and make them tungsten and make them from Sheffield, then
that's right. And they don't have to be Sheffield boys, do they? They don't have to be Sheffield United fans. Chris Basham was not a Sheffield United fan. George Baldock, not a Sheffield United fan. Ollie McBurney. They all buy into what we're about as a club, and that's he gets the right people in. That's the first thing. The characters of what we expect, and you know, getting what's important to us as a club. The effort levels. The respect for the fan base as well. We've had cycles with our club where it's been fractured with the fan base between the players, the fans, the management. And I feel Chris Wilde has brought us all back together again at different times. And at the moment, it feels a little bit fractured again, and he's scrambling to piece it all back again. So I think he's the right man for it. Charlie, I believe you think the same.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I would rather be where we are, and I know we're all moaning and have little digs and stuff like that, than where Leicester are.
Absolutely right.
Going down to League One, they've got to reduce their wage bill down from 80 million down to the average that they get 10 to 12 million in League One.
Yeah.
The amount of people they've got to get rid of is unreal. I mean, King Power are not really doing very well with their business.
No, they're not. They're in trouble behind the scenes, aren't they, in that respect?
A lot of trouble behind the scenes. So they are in major, I mean, it could be catastrophic what happens to that.
And people forget.
What would you rather want?
People forget that it's very likely we could have been in that situation had we not changed anything with Ruben Sayers, because we were going that way. We were underneath Sheffield Wednesday in the league, who are statistically the worst team the league has ever seen. So it was that bad. But speaking of Leicester, Charlie, do you look over at them quite fancifully in terms of they are going to be desperate to get rid of players?
Yeah,
we talk about
the buyer's market.
Yes,
yeah. We talk buyer's market.
It is indeed.
Be in there having a good look around.
Is it just the obvious two? Would you bring those two back? Harry Suter and Hamza Chowdhury we're obviously looking at, but anybody else that you might have seen? I know. You know your stuff, so anybody that you think might be interested
Not
in?
really. I was too busy. I mean, I just absolutely love Hamza.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the last man on the pitch on Wembley, looking around, realising what we'd done. And he was the man that went out to the Leicester fans and faced the wrath. If that's not commitment, then I don't know what is.
Do you think he's captain material, Charlie, potentially, Hamza?
You'd have to give him a try, but you don't know until it's like,
I know, I agree. And he's not necessarily going to be a regular for us, but I do think it says a lot for your character when there's little bit glimpses of things, like him being the last man on the pitch, which obviously stuck with you, and he's looking around and sort of taking everything in. He does go out and face the Leicester fans when he knows he's going to get dogs abuse for the way they've performed this season.
Definitely.
Can't win in that scenario. He's just taking it on the chin to try and be respectful to the fan base. And I think there's a lot of traits that would Japhet Tanganga come out and face our fans? I'm not sure.
I think he'd do a Jack Robinson.
Oh, backdoor Jaff. Yeah, maybe so. Oh, where's that fire exit? I'm off.
I'm off.
Yeah, unbelievable. So, I'm delighted to have you on. Anything else you'd like to cover while I've got you on?
No, not really. Apart from we're going to get fit together, aren't we, Jim?
Oh, we are. Yes, for anybody that's not aware, I didn't know whether you wanted this announcing, but I have to say, I had a week off for my birthday. Well, not a week off. I had a few days off for my birthday. And I've been quite under weather this last week gone, and I'm just starting to kick it now. So I know he'll be on my case from tomorrow. But for those that don't follow, on the other side, one of our other channels, I'm tracking a fitness journey that I've got going with Finn McNamara from S20 Gym in Sheffield. And Charlie has joined up with Finn. So we are going to team up and try and share our fitness journey. And it's completely up to Charlie how much she wants to share online, because it's a big commitment that. But I am tracking mine, and it's stalled to somewhat recently. But we will be back on track, and I'm delighted that you're going to be part of this with us, Charlie. It's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Because he is an amazing chappy. So yes.
He's great, so good at what he does, and thank you for mentioning that, because it's worth mentioning, and it's more accountability for me now that I've got to jump over there and start getting back on the wagon. So thank you for that as well. We'll catch up with you very soon. No problem. Great to have you on. Please don't make it too far apart before we see you next time, and I'll catch up with you soon.
See ya.
All right, my dear. See you soon.
Bye.
See you in a bit. Bye. Charlie, absolutely brilliant to have her on. I see Charlie and Susan, who have both been on as shining lights for as exactly what we're trying to be, and that's a show for everybody. Women, kids, everybody's welcome here, and talks more sense than the majority of us anyway. So thank you to Charlie for coming on. Let's see if our next guest can talk just as much sense. We'll have to wait and see. It's not guaranteed, I have to say. But welcome to the stream. It's Adam. How's it going, pal?
Not too bad, mate. It's just a bit disappointing to hear what people have been saying, because I can't remember seeing Sheffield United that bad. I've not looked at it, by the way. I've not seen anything. I don't think I want to tarnish the memory, to be honest, because if that's what people are saying, what the bloody hell's going off? Is it that bad?
So you're saying you're not disappointed in people because they're saying it. You're saying it's disappointing to hear how bad we were yesterday. Yeah,
because I've not watched anything of it. I was at work and I got a radio saying you're 2-0 down, and I'm like, what?
So for those that aren't aware, Adam, it was sort of speaking about this in our Platinum chat, weren't you, pal? That he's been trying to get to the last 3 Blades games and couldn't get the time off work, and was initially gutted that he couldn't get the time off for Blackburn, and then was absolutely delighted in the end that he couldn't get the time off for Blackburn when you saw the result and the performance come in. And you tried exactly the same for Preston, couldn't work it out, so you got the time off. And again, it's turned out to be a blessing in disguise, really, that you haven't made it, pal, because we were shocking. We were shocking again. And it's sometimes it's the tale of two halves, but we've spoken about it earlier on stream. It's one of those where it's a different game in second half when you're so far behind in a lot of stats and stuff. So, yeah, what are your thoughts really about where we are as a club going at the moment and what we need to do going forward?
Well, obviously we know where the damage was done and how long it's been going on for. Wilder, I wasn't a Wilder advocate. All last season I was saying some of the things that's going off I'm not a fan of. But he did a fantastic job and he got us to where he got us and it didn't work out. Yeah. And they've pulled him back and we're safe.
Yeah.
And that is the main priority that he needed to come in and do. Yeah, it's leaky, it's not right, it's not where we expected it to be based off of where we've been before. But it's damage control at this point, and obviously people have said about him naming these players out and whatnot. And you were saying about him not saying, "Oh, we should be where we are then and not where we are now."
Yeah,
I'd rather have a manager and that mindset within the players, because then they're going to carry on going forward, and that's what we have, or what we did have. I went to Wembley 2014, 2015. I were there when it were 0-0, went to penalties, we lost. And everyone on the way home was still screaming, shouting and chanting for us all. It didn't stop.
No. I know.
And to hear that people have walked out, it is just what?
Yeah, it's really disappointing. And I was saying, again, that could be Gus Amer's last game for us in a Sheffield United shirt. It could be Sidney Peck's last game for us in a Sheffield United shirt at Bramall Lane. And people are leaving rather than saying ta-ra to him. And that's a sad indictment on how we've performed this season. Look, I know you have questioned Wilder in the past, Adam, and that's more than fair. I want to, again, be clear that just because I'm a fan of Chris Wilder and a lot of other people are, I also want to hear the other side, because I know you'll be reasoned with it as to why you have concerns. So if you are you Wilder in or Wilder out, I would probably say at the minute.
He's shown that even coming in and not from the start, he knows what he's doing. He's managed to keep us safe. He's got to have a fair crack at it. You can't just judge him off little bits here and there. Yeah, fair enough, he's had 40 games, whatever. But it's 40 games with players that weren't ready from the start. You can't build something with no foundation. And that's where we've gone wrong. And that's where the damage control has come in. And it's done enough. Justifiably, we're not happy with, it's good enough, because the mentality of those players, and I'm disappointed to hear that. I'm currently in a bidding war because I couldn't go to these last games, 4 tops. And I refuse to give up.
Shirts, aren't you? Yeah.
I refuse. And I'm also going, why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? I've followed Sheffield United for 22 years. And I refuse to give up. I cut me open, I bleed red and white. I am not giving up on those tops because I can't go. But to hear that that's what we've been given in return.
So you're bidding on match worn shirt. I don't mean the website itself, but shirts that have been worn during the game of certain players. Is that with the view to, say, you're bidding on a Peck shirt, for example? Is that to get to Sidney Peck to sign it before he leaves? Is that the intention?
They come signed. These ones come signed.
Oh, right, okay.
It's not like, unfortunately, I can't get them on my top that I spent my own time waiting afterwards to do.
I remember,
and all that other farce that I've put in the Platinum chat. I'm not gonna speak about it.
Yeah.
Because that's not fair. That's one perspective, even though it is one of them things.
It's your experience, mate. It's your experience.
But I'm not going to air it out publicly because I know that people in the club can see this. But I'm not going to do that to him because he's a young lad. He'll live and he'll learn. However, to get them anyway would be a massive benefit. My missus is not into football. I've tried to bring her in, and that was one of them things that I was trying to do at the game for her. I've not been successful because I can't go, so I'm resorting to extreme measures.
Blackburn girl, isn't she? Let's be honest.
Just one of them. I've got to try and convert her, and I need that player's top, and it's signed by that player. So
that'll help.
And I want one as well, so I've got a home and away one, and I refuse to quit. And she's going to be fuming with me, but oh well.
These things happen, mate.
And I want, this has got to be the base need for next season. We have got to be better.
Got to be better. What do you want to see when that whistle goes at Derby on Saturday? What do you expect to see in the week that follows that? Because Rich has already talked about he wants the return list out. He wants to know what's happening with the dates so fans can get their plans sorted out. He wants to know, open conversations about who we're talking to and stuff like that. So what do you want as soon as we can from this team that shows we are making efforts to turn it around?
We need to know who's going and for what. So not idealistically, but we know some relevancy as to what's going off and who might be coming in. And we can kind of figure out what's what from there without having to just pluck names like people do. Because everyone's talking about Leicester players, this player, that player. We've not even got rid of anyone yet. Just because players are in their final year of contracts, that doesn't mean people are going to come knocking.
That's true.
Doesn't mean that we're going to say yes, neither.
I think there's a lot to be said about. I think our toughest task, and I've said it before, is getting players out the door. We have to look at what we're going to bring in as well. So I understand why people speculate about that. But I do think, can we talk about bringing in a Hamza Chowdhury while we've already got 4 or 5 central midfielders in the building? Well, we can because it might up the quality, but we need to get those boys out.
He plays differently to them, and clearly that element of their game is what they're lacking. So if he can show them, well, it's not a one-trick pony, but they get the experience from being around said players of said caliber.
Yeah.
So you've got to do something. I'm excited to see if Billy Sharp's going to come back, because I mentioned this in the Ramble chat. I don't know if everyone's seen it. I don't know when it was, but I remember it coming up on my TikTok. Billy Sharp playing a charity match, and Angry Ginger's on it. And Angry Ginger, from what we've seen, he's not bad at football. Decent centre-back, that's where he plays. And Billy Sharp scores an overhead kick. And this weren't too long ago. And he can still do that at this age. Now, he scores it like it's a tap-in. Now, imagine if it is a tap-in. That's all that we've needed in some instances. You've just got to put it in.
So you're advocating for Billy Sharp to come back on
100%. I grew up, I've seen him. I think he's class. I really think the experience that he's had, the amount of goals that he's scored, he's been up and down with it through and through. He's performed. And the players have gone through that and they're not doing it. And he knows how to help them through it. So bring him in.
Some people will say he's not getting in the Doncaster Rovers side, and he's winding down there, not offering him a new contract. But I've got a video coming out about Billy Sharp very soon, so that'll be going in the Platts chat first, so you'll get to see it. And I want to know your thoughts on it, Adam, when you see it, mate, because it's something along the lines of what you've been talking about there. So, mate, thank you for joining us again tonight. Anything else you want to cover before I let you go?
No, I think we're ready for it to be over and start again. I'm going to be there. I am booking my holidays for football, and I'm going to be there for as often as I can. And it needs to be better because I'm travelling to and from, staying over, whatever, to be there, and I expect it to be better.
Top man, I do too. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate your time, mate, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Mate. See you in a
Cheers,
bit.
pal. Adam, top man. Appreciate him as always. Now we've got to be very quick. This is our final caller. We've got to be very quiet because I believe he'll have a very bad head. He was out on the sauce last night with a few of the other Ramble boys. It's Mark Meldrew. How's it going, mate? You okay?
Good evening, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing, pal?
Bit like that wasp, mate. I'm buzzing.
Hey, on Struggle Street.
Oh, front row, mate. I'm on bus. Front row. Yeah. It's not good.
You've been posting some photos, haven't you, today? Yeah.
Can I just tell you a little bit of a backstory to that? So I got in about 1:45 this morning.
Yep.
And my missus, she's a bit funny when she hears noises because she once got robbed at uni, so she's always a bit cautious. So she thinks something dodgy's happening. So she's come downstairs with a photo frame ready to clock me one, and I'm in the kitchen polishing my shoes at 1:45 this morning.
What? George said he had something to do with that. What's the polishing your shoes,
Malarkey? Spilt ale all over them. That's why. Yeah,
you're just disgraceful.
We're a bad duo, mate. Bad duo.
Sometimes I wish, I laud how brilliant this community is, but it's brought some people together that should never have met. Really, let's be honest. So
you said that again. yeah,
mate. So listen, are you going to be open and honest about what you did yesterday at the match? So you went to the game, didn't you, with George Motson yesterday? Well, we all of us, as we, we met up in TP before.
We did. Yeah.
Went to the game. You had already said before the game, loudly and proudly, football's secondary now because the season's pretty much done.
Yep.
It's the social that you're there for. What did you do when we went 2-0 down, pal?
I went in a hotel. I'd had enough.
You walked out after 20 minutes.
I'd had enough. I'm not doing it, Jim. No.
Last game at season. Walked out.
Doesn't matter. I'd do it mid-season. I pay me money. I can do what I want, can't I?
Absolutely right, you can. Absolutely right, you can. I'm not judging you for it. I'm just saying
I won't
it's
expect
interesting.
anybody else. Anyone else does the same. I won't think any different to them. People deal with it differently, don't they? And I just can't sit there and watch it. When you see it unfolding in front of you, and you might look and say, "Oh, but yeah, it's like I say, it's end of season and this, that, other." But that's just my way of dealing with it. I prefer to get out of the way than.
Yeah. Because it'll just your blood will boil, won't it, more and more.
Exactly. I've been watching this club all my life. I'm 34 this year, and
so
I love the club. You know what I mean?
I know people won't think it, but I've struggled to put into words what I felt about it yesterday, and I can't really sum it up as to why I'm so angry about it. But what would you say about why you feel where you do about them at the moment?
Because I just don't think they're playing for a badge. That's my opinion. You look at us. Like Blackburn of the night, we spoke about it, 10 yards off them. Like, they played yesterday like they had an extra man on pitch.
Yeah.
Like, it's just 4 minutes in, and to do it once is one thing. For him to score again is disgusting.
They've won 2 in 15, Preston, and they're coming away from home.
That's what I mean. I saw somebody in chat the other day, said something about form, and I put, we've only won 4 in 15. Like, we talk like we've won 10 out of 15 games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I said this yesterday in TP, I think it was before you arrived, and I was talking to Lee, and I just said, I could not care less who plays for our club. Nick Montgomery weren't a very good footballer, and he probably won't mind me saying that.
Nope.
Right? But he ran through a brick wall every game.
Remembered really fondly by United, isn't he? Because the effort he put in for shirt.
Exactly. And they'll always look back at your time with club more fondly if you do that than if you don't. And it don't wash with United fans. What others said about it, it don't wash with us as a fan base. If you do not put that effort in, that's paramount. That's number one before anything else. I don't care how good you are.
Yeah.
If you don't, do you know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I just think we've got a lot of dead wood that just aren't going to be here. it's absolutely huge this summer. It's such a big summer, and it's going to be difficult because you're in the middle of a World Cup year as well, and it's going to be tough. But if we've got things in place like we say we have, we need to be hitting ground running post derby. We need to be doing stuff straight away and getting things in order for next year.
Completely agree, mate. Completely agree. He's the man, isn't he?
Do I have to answer that?
Well, you don't, but people will disagree with us, won't they? So,
yeah. Who else would you like Pete said earlier? And fair play. I think he speaks a lot of sense. I've advocated him to come on a lot more. Charlie, another one, speaks a lot of sense.
It's great to have people that we speak to away from Ramble that are involved in Ramble that are now having confidence to come on screen a bit more. It's brilliant for everybody else to hear different opinions into it, like Pete's and Charlie's and
brilliant
and everybody else. So yeah,
brilliant.
I love it.
It's grown and grown, and people are starting to get more involved. And
some people are starting to get recognised, aren't they? Marco,
shut up, you.
The smile on his face.
There's a song about that, isn't there?
I know. I nearly broke into it, but
let you know that you knew. Yeah, you know what it was.
Are you Mark Meljo from Blade Rumble? Yes, love, I am.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I ain't got a pen, but I'll give you a selfie.
Yeah, no problem. She was shocked when I said it were a tenner.
Well, that's what you charge me, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, class, mate. That's what it's about. It's a bit weird, really, when you think about it, but no, that's what this community is about. It's done a lot for me and others, and like you say, it's brought friendships and other stuff. And just if you're thinking, what I would say to people is, and I said this to Dean yesterday, who come out with us after and he had a few drinks and mingled with us, and he had a good crack and that. And I just said,
good lad, Dean.
If you're sat on fence, just do it, because it's absolutely like brilliant.
Knows his stuff as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is what I mean. Everybody you speak to who's a little bit on fence, and you know me, Jim, I were a bit like that. To start with, and then
can't shut you up now.
Exactly, I know, mate. I know.
But even them that we might disagree with, that we might say, I don't know what he's on about or she's on about. It don't matter, does it? Because it's their opinion and they're coming on to voice it. So that I love it that we're getting more and more faces come on and give us different opinions. All I've done tonight is talk to people. I haven't read any comments other than super chats I bet we've been on 2.5 hours in total with Wreck. So
yeah, that's the thing is, it's one of them, like you say, that nobody's opinions ever sort of frowned upon. It's an open platform. It's people will disagree, and oh Jesus, we disagree all the time in chats and this, that, other, and
of course we do, yeah.
That's part of being a United fan, isn't it? And it'd be a boring game if football didn't have different opinions. And
honestly, there's nobody whose opinion I respect more than my dad's, and we disagree on it more than all. And you think that don't really make, but that don't make sense, does it? Do you know what I mean? It's like I think he talks. Obviously, we've got a show called Talking Sense because I think that's what he does. But still, we don't agree on a lot. I think he's way too harsh on some players, on Cannon particularly, and it makes me want to defend him. And when I look at it in cold light of day, sometimes maybe he's right about certain things. But yeah, it's all just putting it down into it and having your own opinion on things and having your say, mate. So yeah, thanks for coming on and
I have to say as well. I rang my dad yesterday when we were at the hotel, and he went, "Oh, have you not gone in yet?" I went, "No, I've gone in, but I've come back out." But yeah, we argue like cat and dog, mate. It's one of them things. It's part of being a dad and son, innit? And listen, if it weren't for my dad, I wouldn't be where I am now. And sort of
don't blame your dad
and stuff. No, I'm not blaming my dad. He knows. He says to me over there, he went, "I don't half moan." I was like, "Well, it's your fault."
That'd be you and your Rory soon, you know.
Oh, he's mad for it now.
Mad to think, though, isn't it? Mad to think it all goes round.
Mad for it, loves it. He's got kit on every day. He's loving it. Keeps asking me about coming to more matches, and I'll get a couple more years yet. But now he's loving it. And
that's class, mate. That's class.
Yeah,
that's what it's about, isn't it?
Wait, mate. It is, mate. And looking forward to next week. Now I'm a bit worried about my health, to be honest, because liver's took a right hammering these last few weeks. It's
you'll get a rest of it somewhere, though, won't you? I would say.
I can't. I'm out Friday. I'm at an Oasis tribute Friday with George Watson. Oh God,
he'll be up on stage, that boy, singing away.
Yeah, but we're here for watch along Saturday as well. I think
we are, mate. Yeah,
I'm doing it with you two, and then we've got to do on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to. I can't wait for that and roll on next season, definitely.
That'd be class, won't it, mate? Meldrew, thank you for being our final caller tonight, mate, and I will catch up with you very soon, no doubt.
Take care, pal. See you next week.
You too, mate. See you soon. Mark Meldrew finishing off tonight after what has been a bumper 90 after 90. It's ended up being about 150 after 90, hasn't it, with 2 breaks. Thank you for everybody that stuck with us through the power cut. And we started off at 6 o'clock tonight and we're finishing at 25 to 9. Absolutely ludicrous. But thank you again. It's therapeutic, this, getting together with people. Sorry I haven't got to any comments other than super chats. You won't want me to sit here for another hour and read through them all. So I'll make sure to get through as many as I can in the upcoming shows, as you know I tend to do. I'll read what I can as well in the post. But thank you again to everybody for joining us. I feel better after speaking to you all about it. I sort of cleansed myself a little bit. It will get better. It will get better. That is one thing that I certainly trust Wilder on, and I would hope that the majority of Blades do as well. It won't be like this next season. Got one more game against Derby. It's going to be really tough as well because they've got playoff ambitions. They're only a point outside playoffs now with a game to go. You know, I was hoping they'd be done by now, so it would be a bit more of a dead rubber kind of game for them. Not that that's counted for last 2, but it's going to be really tough. And it's time for these Sheffield United players that are, you know, perhaps playing their last game for us to stand up and be counted. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 Mardy Blades on Monday night. And, we'll see what the boys have to say about it. Dave the Nose and the Man Mountain are joining us. So we'll see you there, hopefully. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the Blades!